Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. Tonight is the night, semi-final night in the Europa League. The sun begins to depart and the rainy clouds are among us in Glasgow tonight. Some will enter as players and a select few could leave as legends tonight. Rangers play host to current fifth side Bundesliga team RB Leipzig, where the German side take a 1-0 advantage to Ibrox with the tie tightly poised to be a classic. With a 85th minute wonder goal from the RB Leipzig Spanish wing-back Angelino, the Gers are the side with the work to do. But they were in this position in the quarter-finals against Braga, turning a 1-0 deficit from the first leg away to a 3-1 win on the night in extra time. Rangers may have also caught Leipzig in a bit of a dip of form, with two losses in between the first leg of this semi-final, which will need to be taken advantage of with no room for error for the boys in blue. So, for the big night of the Europa League semi-final, second leg between Rangers and RB Leipzig. Will Rangers make a first European final since 2008, or will Leipzig reach a first ever European final in their history? It's Scotland versus Germany, Glasgow versus Glasgow versus Leipzig, the Gers versus the Bulls. Which team is going to make the final in Seville on the 18th of May? 18th of May is only under 2 weeks away. And that could be a big day for either of these clubs. It could be a historic day for Leipzig, reaching a first ever European final, or it could be an even bigger day for Rangers, who could get to their first European final since 2008, where they faced Zenit. They did come out on the losing side, but they'll want to change that in the final of this one. If they get there, they'll play either Eintracht Frankfurt or West Ham. That's the other semi-final being played tonight at the same time, alongside the Europa Conference League semi-finals, which I'll also keep you updated on as well, as we are in for a massive night of Europa League football. Big night for European football in general as well. We are literally under 9 minutes away till kick-off, and I think Ibrox is going to be bouncing. I really do. Ibrox will be bouncing. It's pretty grim weather, to be honest. I've just been watching the pre-match programme from BT Sport, and it looks pretty grim. The weather does not look great. I presume with Scotland it might not get any better. It might stay pretty grim. But for Rangers, it'll almost be like the sun is shining down if they can return the favour to the fans who've backed them all season. Even with the struggles in the league of Celtic regaining the title, or looks like they'll regain the title, get them to a European final. It's just a huge game. But Rangers 2, Leipzig 2, Leipzig to go 3-2 on aggregate. I think it'll be a more open game. Last week in Germany, Rangers definitely went for the with the defensive tactic and just went for damage limitation, just not to concede many goals, and that's exactly what they did. They only conceded one, and it was a wonder strike by Angelino as well. You know, he didn't break down Rangers. It fell on the edge of the box from a corner that was headed away, and Angelino got onto it, left foot volley into the back of the net. It went. So Rangers performed really well last week for the setup they went. They set up to defend deep and to not concede goals. They only conceded the one goal disadvantage, but they're coming to Ibrox now, where it's an absolute fortress in Europe. Braga bottled it in Ibrox. Red Star also bottled it. Borussia Dortmund didn't come out of this stadium with a win. So this place can affect opposition players. It can. It's a bouncing atmosphere. There'll just be over 50,000 there tonight. I'm not sure what the away support is looking like. But like I said, I'll keep up to date as well with the Europa Conference League semi-finals as well. The main one we'll focus on is Roma versus Leicester. That's 1-1 from the first leg. And the second leg is, and the other semi-final tie is Marseille versus Feyenoord, as the French side trail by 3-2. If you've got any score predictions, put them in the comments. Looks like the rain has just drifted slightly from Ibrox. But even though they're on screen, I'm going to go through the teams in a little bit more detail now, so you know where players are playing, why they're playing there, what we think we're going to see. And like I say, kick off in just over 5 minutes. How exciting is this? I can't believe Rangers have made a Europa League semi-final. It's an unbelievable achievement by the club. And yeah, let's just see what's going to happen. Let's go through the teams. We're going to start with the home team. Alan McGregor is in goal, the 40-year-old. He was in that Rangers squad in 2008 that reached the UEFA Cup final, their last European Cup final. He was unfortunately injured for the semi-finals and the final. Is this his time? Has he been repaid for the pain and the hurt of missing that other final? We'll have to wait and see. He's going to have to have a big night tonight. Alan McGregor, right back captain James Tavernier. If he scores a goal tonight, he will be leading the Golden Boot race for this competition. How crazy is that? Right back could be leading the Golden Boot race. Two centre halves of Connor Galton, formerly of Brighton, and Calvin Bass, who's had a breakthrough year at Rangers this season. The 22-year-old signed from Leicester back in the summer of 2020, and Borna Barisic will be playing at left back. I think a midfield three of Lundstrom sitting a little bit deeper than the two others, and could possibly drift into centre-back like he did in the first leg. That's something he did do. He dropped into a back five. So I think he'll just be playing in front of the defence today. But if needs be, you can always drop in to a back five and play alongside the two other centre-halves. The two other midfielders are going to be Ryan Jack, formerly of Aberdeen for 17 years before joining Rangers back in 2017, and Glenn Kamara, the Finland international, who did feature in all of the minutes for Finland in the Euros. He plays in a midfield with the two others. And a front three, we think Kamaru, striker, bags lots of goals this season, has not made the bench, not fit enough, clearly didn't pass a fitness test. He's out. So we think Joe Aribo is going to be playing almost like a false nine role up front, hold the ball, play it into the wingers. That's what we think they're going to go with. That's what they did for the second half of the first leg. Really got Aribo up there in the second half of that first leg and got him, holding the ball up and getting players involved. So we think they're going to go with that again. So who's right? We think it's going to be Scott Wright, who's making his 10th Europa League appearance in his career. And then Ryan Kent, been off the goals this season. He's only got 2 all year, but he's a big player. He's a dangerous player. He's lightning quick. He can make anything happen. Ryan Kent on the left-hand side. So that's how we think Rangers are going to line up. The bench is going to be McLaughlin, McCrory, Leon King, Jamie Sands, Leon Balogun, Stephen Davis, Alex Lowry, Aaron Ramsey, who is back on the bench. He missed the first leg with injury. It was him and Kamaru that were meant to return tonight. Kamaru didn't make it. Aaron Ramsey did. He's on the bench, the man on loan from Juventus. Scott Arfield, Amad Diallo, and Fashion Sakala, who's dropped to the bench tonight. Dropped from... No, he's just not been dropped from the bench. He's back on the bench. Once again, he played about 22 minutes in the first leg. He also scored in Rangers' last game against Celtic in the weekend. So could he come on and maybe and be the man to turn this around? We're going to have to wait and see. We're going to go on to Leipzig as the teams do enter the Ibrox Stadium. Peter Glaci in goal, the Hungarian former of Liverpool. Back three of Lucas Klosterman and Willy Orban returns. He was suspended for the first leg, the Hungarian centre-back, and he's back in for tonight's game. And Josko Gvardiol will also play in that back three. Right wing back of Benjamin Henriks with Conrad Leimer in midfield. Coming in with him is Kevin Campbell. He was also suspended on a yellow card. He's back in the team for tonight's game, with Angelino playing at left wing back. Danny Olmo and Christopher Nkunku will be taking left wing and right wing slots in the team. And the third change and the final change for Leipzig from the first leg is that Yusuf Poulsen comes in, the Danish international. Bagged 2 goals in the Euros back in the summer. He can score goals. He replaces Dominic Szoboszlai on the bench. So that's 3 changes. Holstenberg, Tyler Adams, and Dominic Szoboszlai out, and they are replaced by Willy Orban, Kevin Campbell, and Yusuf Poulsen. On the bench, we have got Josip Martinez, Philip Schauner, the 2 goalkeeping options. Then Mohamed Simikan returns to the bench. He was suspended for the first leg. He's only been able to make the bench, though, for tonight's game. Nordi Mukiele is on the bench with Marcel Holstenberg, Tyler Adams, Sidney Reibiger, Emil Forsberg, Dominic Szoboszlai, Hugo Navawa, and Andre Silva also is on the bench. The man who can score goals, the Portuguese international at the age of 26. They're the 2 lineups. Bench, starting 11s. Here we go. The captains are about to join the referee. Portuguese layout for the officials. Artur Diaz, the Portuguese referee. The only man who isn't Portuguese in this officials lineup is the 4th official. He is Slovakian, and he is Ivan Kruzliak, who's going to be on the sidelines, answering any of the manager's questions when this referee, Artur Diaz, might make a mistake. Artur Diaz, he is a 42-year-old referee. He's been refereeing since 1996, and he became a FIFA ref in 2010. So plenty of experience for the referee for tonight's game. And it's a huge game. If you could like and subscribe if you haven't already, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We've got 3-2 Rangers in the chat, that would mean this game would go to extra time. So that is definitely an option. Remember, no away goals anymore. So extra time is on the cards if it's draw and aggregate come the end of the 90 minutes. And then the 120 minutes, if that's still drawing, we go to penalties. So a lot of possibilities tonight. It is Rangers in their home strip against RB Leipzig in their home strip as well, as all players join in the centre circle for the devastating news of much-loved Rangers legendary kitman Jimmy Bell suddenly passed away 2 days ago. He was around the club 30 years. The unbelievable man. I've only just started to hear about him since his passing. He seems like an unbelievable character. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 69. So we're going to have a minute silence for him. Very upsetting, much loved character at Rangers. A lot of the squad's been talking about him tonight and during the weeks. Not quite a minute silence. I think they've cut that short just to a moment of silence just to remember the man. But a lot of players have been saying that you're going to use what's happened this week to try and get themselves rejuvenised and to get the win for Jimmy Bell. Unfortunately, passed away, kitman, at the age of 69. But we're going to get ready for kickoff. RB Leipzig are going to be the team to kick off, kicking from left to right. Rangers from right to left. The referee, Arta Diaz, blows the whistle and all players and officials and staff of both teams take the knee before kickoff. It's Yusuf Poulsen to get us underway for RB Leipzig, playing it back to Kevin Campbell, who's behind him once more to Willy Orban. Across to the left to Gavardio. Angelino, first time clearance up the field into the Rangers half, header won by John Lundstrom. Up towards Kamara, who challenges Kevin Campbell. Kamara wins it, hooked forward by Kent, played forward by Scott Wright. Towards Aribo, tries to hold up, brought to the ground, says the referee, in an illegal matter, and Joe Aribo wins the free kick for Rangers. Good start from Joe Aribo. He's having to play in that striker role, fill in, as they've got two of their main strikers injured, Rangers, unfortunately, with Kamaru and also Alfredo Morelos, who is out for the season. So even if they do get to a final, Alfredo Morelos won't be there. Hopefully that's better to see. James Tavernier crosses it in towards the box, helped on by Lundstrom. Tried to find Kent, but Yusuf Poulsen sliced it out of play, and that'll be a free kick. A throw-in for Rangers. There we go. Hopefully that's better to see now in the top right, the timer, and what half it is. David Walker, I am in Spain, Casablanca. We are here, though, for the Rangers. I'm so excited. By this point, against Braga in the second leg, they'd scored as Scott Wright nearly got played through there by Lundstrom. Tavernier wins the ball. Referee doesn't mind that challenge in towards Kamara in the box. Lucas Klosterman heads away. Positive start for Rangers. Throwing for them in towards the final third. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic here. Throwing goes towards Scott Wright as he shoves Gavardio to the ground as he just shielded it out of play. The referee, nothing to deal with. Even Josko Gavardio said no, nothing wrong with that, even though he was the one who got shoved to the ground. He's like, get on with it. It happens. But yeah, the other semi-final, the other semi-final and the two semi-finals in the Europa League, the Europa Conference League has also started as RB Leipzig play out from the back with Gavardio. Ball drilled along the ground, picked up by John Lundstrom into Tavernier. Lundstrom around the corner looking for the run of Tavernier in behind. Too much on it. Scott Wright will give chase, but it'll be Peter Galacci to get to it first. Come on, Rangers. We've got a few Rangers fans in here, I think. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's Peter Galacci on the ball with his hands here, the RB Leipzig goalkeeper. He throws it towards the halfway line where Yusuf Poulsen gets bullied off the ball by Connor Galton. Aribo flicks into Kamara, tries to get in behind for Kent. Blocked and cleared by Willy Orban in the end towards Lima, who loses out. Wins it a second time, though. 1-2 from Nkunku. Great play by Conrad Lima. He's got support to his right. Almost joining the attack. Poulsen's making an overlap. He plays it towards Nkunku instead. Tackled well by Lundstrom. Cleared by Lundstrom. But it's not kept by Rangers. Scott Wright loses out. Henriks into Olmo. Back to Kevin Campbell. He's back into the team for the second leg as he missed the first leg due to a yellow card suspension. Gavardio bringing out from the back. Gets it away from Scott Wright as it is an unchanged Rangers side from the first leg. Nkunku breaks the lines. Lays it off into Yusuf Poulsen, who's broke out wide left. And Kunku again. Out to Angelino, the goal scorer for the only goal in this tie so far. Went for the cross, blocked by Tavernier. It's over 3 minutes in. Decent start for both sides. Both just getting on the ball. I think Rangers just been the slightly better side so far. Angelino, I think you might fancy a longer throwing in towards the box. Headed away by Lundstrom. Towards Kent, who helps it in the air. Headed forward by Klosterman. Bassi, nudged in the back by Yusuf Poulsen. That'll be a free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box for the Gers. Thanks to everyone who's here. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, as there's a final on the line here. What a night for Rangers. What a night. Their last European trophy was back in 1972 after beating Dynamo Moscow in the Cup Winners' Cup, when it used to be called. It's a big night. Huge night. Ball in towards Yusuf Pulse on the halfway. Sets away Henriks on the right-hand side. Down the line it goes. Conrad Limer's got there towards the byline. Pulls it in to the near post. Controlled by Nkunku. Back out to Henriks, the right wing back. Crosses it off Tavernier. And then a header by the number 18. Couldn't have been 18. I think it was 16. I think Klosterman was the one who headed it out of play for a Rangers goal kick. I was going to say it can't be 18. And Nkunku was on the ball before that. But it's Alan McGregor with a goal kick. And he takes it short to Connor Goldson. And across it goes to Calvin Bass, who's been a revolutionary player for Rangers this year. Brought in by Gerrard in the summer of 2020. And he's been unbelievable. Used to be a left back, but now mainly plays centre back in a strong pairing with Connor Goldson as he gets a switch. Goldson towards Kent. He loses out though in the end to Klosterman. Goal kick for RB Leipzig. Need more goals from Ryan Kent. He's really come short in the goals this season, unfortunately. Only the 2 in all competitions in 42 appearances, and they've both come in the league. 3 goals this season. 3 goals, 2 of them in the league, 1 of them in the Europa League. Angelino in the left-back area. Clips it down the line towards Poulsen, who controls it into Nkunku on the halfway on the far left. Flag up for Yusuf Poulsen. He's offside. Free kick for Rangers. Going to have to be aware of that. Rangers, make sure they don't leave anyone on side. Got to keep tight as their back line. Borna Barisic, long ball down the line, looking for Glenn Kamara, who's battling with Kevin Campbell, and he gets the right side of the midfielder. But he loses out in the end to the Slovenian. Ryan Jack, though, heads it to the left to Kent from the Galacci clearance. Barisic back to Bassi in the RB Leipzig half. Dinks it up towards Kamara over his head, and it can be dealt with by Orban as he clears back to his goalkeeper, Galacci, who gets it away over Poulsen and Bassi's head. Lands to Connor Goldson as Rangers are back in possession in their own half. What a big game. Alan McGregor on the ball. Was number 22 in his first spell at Rangers. Will he make a European Cup final in 2022? He's obviously now the number 1 in his second spell at the club. Scott Wright gets the return from Tavernier. Across the box it goes, and Henriks has to clear away. Only to the edge of the box to Ryan Jack, who fancies a strike. Easy save down low for Peter Galacci to make. But it's the first shot of the game, and we have just entered the 7th minute. First shot of the match, and it's on target. Ryan Jack around 22 yards away from goal on his weaker left foot. He took a deflection actually, so he's good aware goalkeeping from Galacci. Strong challenge from Barisic. Can he get beyond Campbell? He can with a bit of strength. Bassi. Forward it goes towards the lone striker, Aribo. You can't quite stop it from going out of play for an RB Leipzig throw-in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Let's get that like count up. Hope you like the new rebrand of the channel as well. The new channel logo and a new banner as well. All done by B Brunt's design. His Instagram is in the description if you want to go and check him out. He's made the recent thumbnails and the new logo and the banner as well. No chance I could be doing that. Don't have the skills necessary for that sort of stuff, so he's sorting me out. So I do appreciate that. They look very clean, I must admit. As Bassi heads it forward towards Kamara. poked away by Campbell, but it just falls to Ryan Jack on halfway. Don't seem nervous, the Rangers players, which is obviously a very good sign. That goes without saying. But, sometimes when you're in front of your home crowd, it can be very daunting. You can either use it to your advantage and get you going for it, or it could probably get you a bit worried. But Ryan Jack's given away here. Henriks drills in towards Nkunku, 25 yards away from goal. Gets a chance to shoot, not blocked away quick enough. It does deflect, though, off, I think, Lundstrom, and loops behind over the bar for an RB Leipzig corner. I think it was Ryan Jack, actually. It came off. Both Ryan Jack and John Lundstrom did go down to block it. It looped over the crossbar, and it's a corner kick for RB Leipzig. Try to play out from the back there, Rangers, and it just didn't quite come off for the Scottish side. Corner for RB Leipzig. Danny Olmo in swinger, right-footed, headed on by Willie Orban. And wide of the post it goes. It was wide by quite a few yards in the end, so not much to worry Alan McGregor, but he beat Calvin Bassey to the header. But wide it went for Willie Orban, who returns to the side after being suspended for the first leg. Did help towards the 1-1 draw against Real Sociedad in the playoffs of this competition this season from Willie Orban, but he eventually went down as no goal in the end. Connor Goldson, audacious ball to the right to Tavernier, and he brings it down beautifully. Brings Scott Wright into play, heavy touch, and he's challenged by Angelino, and the Spaniard can bring it away, and he volleys it up towards Yusuf Poulsen, nodded down by Goldson to John Lundstrom, cleared up to halfway to Campbell, who gets it forward, trying to find Olmo, but it's won back by Ryan Jack. And 10 minutes in, it's 0-0. One shot apiece, one on target for Rangers, one off target for RB Leipzig. Ryan Jack out to the left centre half, Calvin Bassey on the edge of the 18-yard box. Forced back to Alan McGregor. Ball forward towards Kamara, loses out to Kevin Campbell. Headed back forward by Bassey to Jack. Hooks it forward and in behind. Kamara will give chase, but it's cleared by Willie Orban, the Hungarian international. And finds Poulsen, who nods it down to his left, and it can find James Tavernier. And Aribo's been pushed to the ground by Kevin Campbell. Free kick for Rangers. Needs to get into the speed of it pretty quick. Kevin Campbell yet to score this season for his side. Ryan Jack just in the centre circle has a free kick in the RB Leipzig half for the Gers. Takes it short just behind him to Connor Goldson. Out to John Lundstrom, almost playing like a right centre half in the first 10 minutes so far. Scott Wright trying to find a ball down the channel to Aribo, cut out by Gavardiol. Hurried clearance up the field. It can be chested down by Calvin Bassey and brought forward by the former Leicester man. Tries to poke it out towards Kent on the far left. Deflects off Benjamin Henriks. Be a throw-in for Rangers in the Leipzig half. Thrown quickly back to halfway to Bassey from Barisic. Brings Ryan Jack into play. And he goes across to the former Sheffield United man, John Lundstrom. It's his first ever campaign in Europe this season, as they've lost out, but he wins it back. Lundstrom poking it away from Nkunku, the danger man. Tavernier, heavy touch, and he loses out. That's poor from the captain. Needs to do better. Conrad Lima can bring it away on the left. Tries to lay it off towards Angelino. Short ball, won back by Tavernier. He lost it, but he wins it back. Now Alan McGregor with a clearance away. Up the field towards Aribo. He's got the height, and he does flick it down towards Scott Wright, but it's intercepted by Gavardiol. A ball forward by Angelino, trying to find Lima. Just doesn't go to his intended target, and Lundstrom can bring it back into play. We're on the edge of the 18-yard box with Rangers as Lundstrom retreated the ball before. Bassey back into McGregor. It's a bit of possession now for Rangers. I think it's a pretty decent start. If I'm going to be honest, I think they've done pretty well so far. Long ball in the right channel for Aribo. It's going to go right towards the corner flag. Can he avoid the goal kick? He can. He just touches out of play for a throw-in right on that corner flag on the Leipzig left. Really well done from Aribo, chasing that ball down. Like I said, he's having to play as a makeshift centre forward. these two semi-final legs due to the injuries of Kemar Roof and Alfredo Morelos that has ruled them out of this tie completely, both of them. Kemar Roof was meant to make a return for tonight's game but didn't even make the bench. Angelino has to take this throw in. It goes long towards Poulsen, who does win the flick on towards Dani Olmo. Shifts it towards Benjamin Henrichs on the edge of the 18-yard box for Leipzig. Brings it forward on the right. Forced back to Galacci by the press of Ryan Kent. First time clearance by the goalkeeper. Towards the halfway line. Header won by Olmo. But it's just forced to Tavernier as there's no Leipzig player near it. Then he's clean play to Bassi and then back to Alan McGregor. The last European Cup semi-final that Rangers were in. They drew 0-0 in both legs versus Fiorentina through on pens. 4-2 in the end. McGregor. Ball towards Tavernier on the right. Leaves that to Angelino and Kunku. His ball's not gone to a red shirt, but Tavernier's ball just avoids the stretched leg of Aribo. And Leipzig have it back with Kevin Campbell in their own half. On the edge of the 18-yard box, it's Willy Orban. Played forward to Dani Olmo, back to the Rangers goal, but he does turn nice and get a left-footed ball to Lima. Great touch to get away from Ryan Jack. He can sprint away here. Conrad Lima, he's got Poulsen to his right. He pulls out Goldson, gets it to Poulsen, and that's a really good sliding block from Ryan Jack. Really is. Like I say, Lima was bursting towards goal, and Goldson committed towards him and left Poulsen on his own, and he got it to Poulsen. He tried to strike, but it was blocked by Ryan Jack. But RB Leipzig come again. Angelino, ball in towards Yusuf Poulsen, head away by Bassi. No foul on Bassi. Yes, it is a foul on Bassi. I was going to say, took his time there, the referee, to give a foul. I didn't think he'd given it at first. Bassi just holding his back, but I think he'll be okay to continue. If you are in here, like and subscribe. Big game. Roma take the lead against Leicester. That's 1-0 in that game, 2-1 on aggregate. That's a very important block by Ryan Jack. Threw himself at it, the former Aberdeen man. That's an important block, it really is. Because like I say, Connor Goldson got completely pulled out of position and allowed Poulsen to look like he had a chance to shoot. Took too long and was blocked off in the end as McGregor's long kick goes towards the front line, but it's left by Orban to fall to the feet of Peter Galacci, who then uses his hands to pick it up. Just over 15 minutes in. Still 0-0. 1-0 on aggregate to Leipzig. Benjamin Henrichs on the ball. The far right back area. Down the line. Curled in towards Dani Olmo. Loses out to Bassi, who wins the throw-in for his side as it comes off Henrichs last. Barisic, number 31, with the throw-in. For Rangers, throws it back into Bassi. Pretty miserable day in Glasgow. Rain falls even at this time of 17 minutes past 8. On the 5th of May, 2022. Rangers back in the European Cup semi-final for the first time since 2008. Long ball towards Aribo by Galton. Header won by Orban. Forced to Lima. Heavy touch, harder play for a Rangers throw and taken quickly by Tavernier to Scott Wright. Drives forward, loses out with Lima. There again, he's all over the place, Lima. He's in a good way. He's covering the ground in that midfield really well, but the clearance from Leipzig doesn't find Nkunku. Out of play it goes for Rangers for a throw-in. There he is, looking on. Domenico Tedesco, the Italian manager. Switch towards Kent, heads it forward. Chested down by Klosterman. Clear towards the right-hand side where he'll fall to Barisic as he tries to see out for a throw-in. And he does go for a throw-in. Well seen out by the Croatian. Bassi. Across the back three, it looks like. I think it's a back three. Lundstrom in right centre-back. Connor Goldson in the centre with Bassi to the left. Still looks like in the last leg, Lundstrom dropped into the central centre-half role. Looks like this time it's going to be Goldson in the centre. Barisic, long ball, down the left-hand side towards Kamara, who moves away from Campbell, holds it up, and he sets away Kent on the left. Advantage played as Kamara's left on the deck. Kent tried to cut in on his right, back onto his left. A cross goal and tapped in! Tavernier gives Rangers the lead on the night. level on aggregate, and he is now the top scorer in the Europa League. And Ibrox has gone insane. It's been a pretty even start. Both teams have started the game quite positively, not looking too nervous, knocking the ball around nicely, but the first real chance for Rangers, and they have taken it. And it's got to be Tavernier. Who else would it be? He scores goals for fun in this competition. Over 2 legs, he got 3 against Dortmund, 2 against Braga, 1 against Red Star, and now he's got his first in this tie against RB Leipzig. He follows in at the back post as Kent got it across. They had a similar chance last week in the second half where Kent put in an identical ball across goal, but no one was there. This time, Tavernier's in the right spot, allowed to adventure forward on his own, taps it in from about 2 yards out. It's trademark Tavernier. Rangers are level on aggregate, and some teams, and almost every team that's come to Ibrox this season in Europe, have struggled to deal with the atmosphere, and it looks like Leipzig are also struggling themselves. Unbelievable. 1-0 Rangers, 1-1 on aggregate. Just under 20 minutes in. What a start to this semi-final second leg. As Poulsen gets a free kick, tries to take it quickly, zips it into Nkunku. Flicked away by Lundstrom, throwing for RB Leipzig. Aaron Cresswell sent off for West Ham. Is that true? He was sent off in the quarter-final against Lyon in the first leg. But out of nothing, Tavernier gets the goal. That gets Ibrox bouncing. 1-1 in aggregate. James Tavernier, he is now the leading scorer in this competition with 7 goals. Oh, Aribo, what a 1-2 with Kent. Can't get beyond Campbell, though. Good midfield play stopping Kent. But it's headed back forward by Ryan Jack. Headed away by Klosterman. Again, Jack wins another header. Can be brought down by Kent, trying to find Aribo. Picked up by Campbell. Ball forward to Poulsen. Lays it off nicely to Danny Olmo. Enters the Rangers half. Gets it left to Lima. Once more to Angelino. Good move so far from Red Bull Leipzig as a ball goes in. Headed away by Connor Galton in the box. Towards the right back, Tavernier, who battles with Lima. Lima wins a throw-in. Oh, and he has got a red card. Cresswell, does anyone know why? That is devastating. Really. If you are in here, please like. We're only on 3 likes. Come on. Like and subscribe. Poulsen goes for the overhead kick there in the box, but I think there was an offside anyway from a flick on from a throw-in. But Tavernier has done it. Great hold-up play it was from Kamara on the left to bully Campbell off the ball. He flicked it then into Kent, who took it on the left. Looked like he was driving on the inside, then went back out on the outside. Left-footed ball across. He knew where to aim for because Tavernier makes that run, which he always does towards the far post. And because he's playing a back 3, Giovanni, von Bronckhorst, that does allow James Tavernier to get further forward and get in the box like that. And he just knows where to be. He just knows where that ball is going to land. And he might be Rangers' saviour once again. Over 21 minutes in. Rangers 1, Leipzig 0, 1-1 in aggregate. Unbelievable scenes. You just never doubt the Ibrox crowd. Never. Throwing down the line to Scott Wright. Comes off Gavardio and he can clear up the field. And Nkunku heads it inside to Yusuf Poulsen. We're still in the Leipzig half momentarily as he gets it across to Benjamin Henriks. Looks for a through ball in behind Calvin Bassey. He says no. He intercepts nicely on the Frenchman. And gets a ball down the line. Barisic towards Kamara, who just stumbles over his own feet there. And concedes the throw in for RB Leipzig to take. There is Kamara from the stands. Couldn't quite make the squad tonight. Still injured. Aaron Ramsey did make it, who was a miss for Rangers in the last leg. He's on the bench. As Benjamin Henriks throws it in towards Poulsen and he headed out of play for Rangers throwing this time. They've got to get a foothold of the game, RB Leipzig, because like I said, when Rangers get to Ibrox and they get a first goal, they are usually very hard to stop. What's Mike saying? Ref gave Cresswell a yellow card for a tackle, but VAR encouraged referee to upgrade into a red. Okay, if you've seen the challenge, you think it's a red yourself. I've seen Nkunku, Gazet. I think Goldson's given it away. Olmo ball through in the box towards Poulsen. Good slide challenge from Connor Goldson. Wins the ball and he apologises. He knows that pass wasn't good enough, but he did recover. And Kent now has it with Aribo challenging aerially. It dropped to Kent and a ball looking for Tavernier. Nowhere near the right fall back, and it's back in Leipzig possession with their back three with Gvardiol. Ball forward to Lima on the halfway line. Out to Angelino, the man who did get that 85th minute winner for Leipzig last week with a left-footed volley. That beats Alan McGregor. It's now back with the opposite, number 1, Peter Galacci. Left back area, Gvardiol fakes the clearance and gets beyond Scott Wright as he drives forward, and then he loses out to the winger. Joe Aribo now has it. Tavernier inside to Kamara, back out to Aribo on the right hand side, 1-on-1 with Angelino. He wants it on his stronger left foot. He gets it inside to Scott Wright, holds it up, lays it off. Kamara on the edge of the box. What a finish! Rangers take the lead. He takes off the black armband, kisses it as that is in the name of, oh my days, of Jimmy Bell. Oh my days, what a goal. You just can't beat Rangers at Ibrox. You can't do it. That one's for Jimmy Bell. That's for him. That's in his name. And Rangers have turned it around in under 25 minutes. Leipzig are stunned. There's a flare on the pitch. What a goal. Kamara got it out to Aribo on his left foot, swung the ball low into Scott Wright, back to goal, laid it off on the edge to Kamara, who just slotted the ball along the turf into the bottom left corner. Galacci tried to get there, but he was never going to get there. He almost knew he wasn't getting there before the ball had even hit the back of the net. What a bit of curl that is. Glenn Kamara, take a bow. 2-0 Rangers, 2-1 on aggregate. And are they heading to Seville in under 2 weeks' time to take on either Frankfurt or West Ham in the Europa League final? The fans can't quite believe it. And like I say, he pulled off that black armband, gave it a big kiss, and that is for former kitman Jimmy Bell, who's unfortunately and very sadly passed away at the age of 69 earlier this week. And I'm sure if they get to this final, it is for him. Referee brandishes out a yellow card though for Calvin Bassey. Didn't quite see the foul there as they were showing replays. Ball in, headed away by Bassey, who gave away the free kick. To the edge of the box, crossed in. Headed away by Jack on the edge, helped away by Kamara. As Rangers push out. (2-0). 2-1 on aggregate. Oh my word, I did not expect this. Oh, wow. Really well worked goals from one from the left hand side that got crossed across goal, then one from the right hand side as well. Klosterman nods it down towards Henriks, loses possession. Ryan Jack works it towards Ryan Kent on the left, can't quite bring it down the left winger, and that'll be a Leipzig throw. Let's have a look why Bassey. Yeah, Bassey basically got done there by Dani Olmo and he pulled him to the ground. Definite yellow card. Is it 2-0 answer? Please, what's their score? Give me a minute. They just scored. 2-0. Hope that answers your question. Alan McGregor clears it up the field. Headed won by Benjamin Henriks towards Poulsen. Not the best of touches. He's chased down by Bassey, but he does release in the end to Conrad Lima. Now Angelino. Back into the Leipzig half we go with Josko Gvardiol, who had quite the game, I thought, at home, in the home leg, but clearly the Leipzig defence has not been able to deal with this Rangers onslaught, but they have worked the ball nicely. Olmo through to Nkunku, tackled strongly by Barisic, who won the ball, but it falls to Dani Olmo. He tried to place it into the top left corner, tried to be a little bit too precise there, the Spanish forward, and over the bar it went and wide. Tried to feed it towards Nkunku, but a strong slide challenge from Barisic took it away from the Frenchman, but it fell back on the edge of the box to Olmo, who decided left foot to try and place it into the top corner, but didn't quite place it correctly. And that is Glenn Kamara's first goal of this Europa League campaign. It's only his second ever in the competition. Such a good finish, by the way. It really is. Such a good finish. It's Kamara now. Oh, misplaces the ball to Nkunku. Lima forced back to Willy Orban. Then to Peter Galacci in the 18-yard box. Good pressure in this by Rangers. And the ball forward. Flicked on by Dani Olmo towards Poulsen, but it's John Lundstrom to intercept, and Win it back for Rangers. Bassey, lifted ball, looking for Aribo, brings it down beautifully. Brings Ryan Kent into play on the far left in the final third. He's going to run at this defence. Tries to go on the inside. Carries on the inside, going across the box. Lays it off to Ryan Jack, who works it back out wide left to Kamara. He's got the overlap of Barisic. Feeds it to the Croatian. Deep crossing towards Tavernier. Wins it. Across it goes to Aribo. Oh, he miskicks it and it's headed over the bar by Orban. Now that's a big chance for the Nigerian. That really is a big chance. Worked out to Barisic, got the cross into the far post. Tavernier headed it across goal, and on his weaker right foot, he miskicks it, Joe Aribo. He miskicks it, Joe Aribo. But it's a corner for Rangers. It's their first of the game. Barisic, arm in the air, right arm raised, left-footed in swinger. Headed away by Poulsen, but it's 50p head that. He's tried to head it that way, but it's gone the opposite way. And Barisic has another chance to get a better corner in. On Frankfurt go 1-0 up. That is a big mountain now to climb for West Ham. You are right, it is 1-0 to Frankfurt. Ball in by Barisic. Good ball towards Galton. Heads it on. Headed away though by Orban. Only as far as Lundstrom in the edge of the box. In the box he goes to Scott Wright. Trying to worm his way through for a chance. Lays off into Ryan Jack. Crossed in. Right boot towards the far post. Barisic can't avoid the goal kick. And that's what it'll be for RB Leipzig. Looks like a deserved red for Cresswell. Okay. Nice. Cheers. Cheers for letting me know. So yeah, it looks like, at the minute, based on results alone at the minute, it's going to be a Rangers-Eintracht Frankfurt final in Seville on the 18th of May. But it's not over. A lot of football yet to play. Still got an hour to go. It's only a 1-goal advantage so far for Rangers on aggregate. As Benjamin Henriks has a throw in here in their own half. Bassey with a strong challenge. Comes off a Leipzig player last. And Kent leaves it for a throw-in, which will be taken by Borna Barisic. Thrown back to Bassey. Bit of a dodgy touch, but he does work it back to Alan McGregor, who clears up first time towards Aribo. The header's gone to Kamara. Aribo's really putting himself around on the front line here as Kent's running at the Leipzig defence, scaring, terrorising Klosterman, but he does just about nick the ball away from him, the centre half, and it's cleared by Leipzig, but headed right back forward by Connor Galton there as he gets a booking for winning the header. He's used the elbow, says the referee. Both natural centre halves for Rangers are on bookings, Calvin Bassey and Connor Galton. Oh, it's not a booking at all. It's not a booking. Doesn't even use his elbow in any sort of malicious intent. I think Artur Diaz, the Portuguese referee, got that one wrong, personally. I think he's given a booking there for the sake of it, because I really don't think it is a booking. But we do continue with the free kick. It's now Olmo in towards Poulsen, loses out to Goldson. Headed forward by Barisic towards Aribo, loses out though in the end, and it's now with Benjamin Henriks, the right wing back for Leipzig. Ball looking for Poulsen, cleared by Goldson, can't find Aribo, cleared back forward by Klosterman. Poulsen, poor touch, cleared away by Ryan Jack, and out for a throw-in for RB Leipzig as he's got a lot on his plate at the minute. Domenico Tedesco, the 36-year-old manager of RB Leipzig. Klosterman. Back to Galacci. Klosterman again in the right back area for RB Leipzig. Back to the goalkeeper it goes, who has to clear away first time as he's pressured by Joe Aribo. Up towards Poulsen, who lets it go towards Nkunku. Volleyed away by John Lundstrom, who last season was in a relegated Sheffield United side in the Premier League, as his clearance up the field's been returned by RB Leipzig, this time for a throw-in. If you are new, like and subscribe. It does help massively. It really does. More than you can believe. Barisic throwing on the halfway for Rangers. They have already turned the semi-final tie around, but obviously it's not over yet. Aribo flicks on the throw-in. Kent chases down, was hooked away behind his head by Klosterman, helped back forward by Barisic, met by RB Leipzig's header, but then almost touches poor. Ryan Jack takes it away. Galton, ball forward. Aribo, what a touch, takes it in towards his path, but he's tackled there by the covering Willie Orban. What a great start for Aribo. He probably should have made it 3. a few minutes ago as he swung in midair and missed the ball completely from around 2 yards out. Bassey back to Goldson, who is on a yellow card. McGregor on the edge of the 18-yard box. Orban on the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it back to Galacci. Lifted ball towards the left-hand side to Angelino. Chests it down and hooks away from Tavernier. And out he goes for a throw-in. RB Leipzig are really struggling here. Yeah, was it Abraham who scored the goal? Yeah, Abraham scored in the 11th minute against Leicester to give Roma the advantage in that semi-final in the Europa Conference League. Like I say, the semi-final's not over. It really is not over. Tavernier long throwing down the line towards Scott Wright. Can't avoid the goal kick though. Tried to touch it, controlled it with his head, then his foot, but out of play it went. I shouldn't laugh, that is mean. But a little girl there, a Rangers fan, being held by her dad as she is crying, and she is plugging her ears with her finger, clearly too loud. The Glasgow atmosphere as they do take an early advantage in the semi-final in the second leg. As Leipzig play out from the back from the goal kick they've got. Angelino, long ball forward. Had a loss by Lundstrom, and it's in behind towards Nkunku. And Goldson just about deals with it, and Bassey has to help out as he clears away. No need for panic, though. That's the last thing that Rangers need at the back. Panic. Got to keep it calm. You've got ahead now, and you're at home as well. RB Leipzig clearly stunned at the atmosphere. Like I say, in between the semi-final, which they won the first leg, they've lost the two in between. They lost against Union Berlin, not last weekend, the weekend before, and then they lost last weekend to Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-1. And Nkunku scored Leipzig's goal, but at 2-1 for Gladbach, they even got a man sent off, but Leipzig couldn't turn it around. As Kamara brings away in the midfield after some defensive work. Kent try to take on the inside, then goes on the outside, and he's cynically brought down by Kevin Campbell. That'll be a free kick towards the halfway line. I think he's lucky there not to get a booking. The Slovenian midfielder who's not featured for his country since 2018. He's also been at clubs like Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen and Red Bull Salzburg. The Slovenian midfielder who just cynically brought down Ryan Kent. Great to see this amount of people in the stream once again. Like I say, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't know what the next commentary is going to be, but this is a big one. Really is a big one. A few Rangers fans watching. Bassey with a free kick, tries to curl it around the corner to Aribo. And he found his target, and Orban has to clear it over his head for a throw-in for Rangers in the final third. Well done to Joe Aribo. Really doing well. Goal in the 18th minute by Tavernier at the far post, tapping in from a Kent cross. And a Kamara goal on the 24th minute. From the edge of the box, curls into the bottom corner is the difference so far. Barisic, heavy touch, loses out. RB Leipzig try and clear, but it's Bassey who's picked up a knock with a 50-50, but he did win it, and Rangers have the ball. Diagonal ball by Goldson, trying to find Tavernier, heads it forward, goal kick, RB Leipzig. Hopefully he can walk/run that off, Calvin Bassey. Now an important figurehead in the RB Leipzig, in the Rangers team. Long ball by Leipzig, finds Nkunku in behind on the right, tries to take on Connor Goldson. Chops inside, taken down by Goldson, but he has to be careful because he is on a booking. He does need to be careful, Connor Goldson. He's on a booking, he's brought down Nkunku. It was a foul. Try to chop in on the right hand side onto his left. Yeah, definitely a foul there by Connor Goldson. He can't really have any complaints. This is his 385th career appearance, professional career appearance for Goldson. He's never been sent off. So, that's not going to jinx it, but there is a first time for everything. So Angelino has it on the Leipzig right. Getting towards half time. Remember, it's not the end of the semi-final. Angelino, ball towards the far post, header won at the far post by Willie Orban, but he heads it wide again. That's two headers he's won now on set pieces, and he's headed them both wide. One when it was at 0-0, and then now one at 2-0 down. Willie Orban. Hungarian, but did make 2 Germany under-21 appearances back in 2014. Touch wood after that comment. I will. I definitely will, Mike. Don't worry. I'll touch wood. Zaribo flicks on. Header won by Gavardiol. Still there for Rangers to win it, as it's a bit of head tennis. We've seen the Leipzig players. Lima then brings it down in his own half. Oh, it's a cheap free kick to give away, but I don't think it is a free kick. Tavernier had a slight pull at Lima's shirt. Not enough, I thought, for a free kick, but the referee thought differently. Bassi wins it. Strong challenge, takes it away. Tries to get it forward. Loses out and then concedes a free kick. He went on a run there, marauding run. Bassi lost it, tried to recover, then brought down a Leipzig man to try and stop the counter once again. Again, he has to be careful. He's also on a booking alongside Goldson. I think both of them are maybe 1 or 2 challenges away from a red card as Kamara intercepts a Conrad Lima pass and they get it forward to Aribo. 1-2, he completes with Scott Wright, and now the wingers away on the right. Early ball towards the edge of the box, and he does fall to Aribo after a deflection off Gavardiol. Plays it back out wide right to Scott Wright, pulls it to the edge to Kamara, just too overhit, and it goes away from the Finland international. But Barisic will recover it on the far left and get an early cross in. It's a good bending cross. Header won by Orban, chested down by Klosterman and helped away with his left boot. It's flicked on by Dani Olmo, and it'll be Poulsen to get onto it. Chased down by Barisic, who loses out the Croatian. Still with Poulsen, tries to get it inside, deflects off Bassi, throwing for Leipzig on the halfway. I'm back, man. Paul's back. Long time no see. As Olmo works it wide right to Poulsen, inside towards Nkunku, but he goes behind the Frenchman. And why you're not feeding it to the Frenchman? He's on 31 goals for the season in all competitions. As Aribo holds it up, tries to turn, but he turns right into Lucas Klosterman, and his clearance hasn't gone far. It's gone straight to Glenn Kamara. Works it to the danger man, James Tavernier, who's now the leading scorer in this competition after scoring the goal to make it 1-0 in this game. In the 18th minute, do more Rangers commentaries, your classmate. Cheers. I do like a Rangers commentary. Probably the team I've done the most, I think, now on the channel, I'm pretty sure. Ryan Jack, back to goal, and it goes to Goldson, and he finds Aribo. He turns his defender, Gavardiol. He keeps running towards goal, lays it off into Scott Wright, who can't take it in his path in the box. Tackled by the number 4, Willie Orban. And with the left boot, he gets it down the line and out of play for a Rangers throw-in. Should have done better there, Scott Wright. He's been given a chance in both legs to impress. And that time he may have probably done better. Got fed through by Rebo, but couldn't take it under control. And that's when Orban took it away from him. James Tavernier on the right, halfway inside in the Leipzig half they are. Look to see, great to see this amount of people, 79 people. There'll be a lot of you not subscribed and a lot of you who haven't liked, so please make sure you do that. It does help me out massively. Long throwing down the line by Tavernier towards Aribo. In the box by Scott Wright, but it's easily caught by Peter Galacci. I do think the RB Leipzig manager, Domenico Tedesco, does want his team in at half-time. Get him in at half-time, get a rethink, get a talking to some of these RB Leipzig players. Angelino. Ball along the ground towards Poulsen. His touch lets him down. Connor Goldson with it on halfway. Hurries the ball down the right channel towards Aribo. He's been great at holding up so far towards the byline. Flicks it in towards the box. Again, out quickly is Peter Galacci. His birthday it is tomorrow. And currently he's not having a great birthday eve. The Hungarian goalkeeper, he turns 32 tomorrow. Ball down the RB Leipzig heart line again, and they just lose it. They're going long every time, and it's playing into the hands of the Rangers defence, who have set up with a back 3 tonight with Lundstrom, Goldson and Bassi. They win it back, and Goldson takes it on the chest, gets it to Poulsen, down the line, beats the slide challenger for Lundstrom. Along the ground it goes towards Nkunku in the box. It's a nice detailed outside of the boot ball by Poulsen, but it can't find the Frenchman, and it can be cleared away by Borna Barisic in the end. Might need to bring on Balogun for one of the centre-back stoppers going down 10 men. That could definitely be a thing that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst is thinking of. Taking charge of his 36th game as the Gers manager, and he could be taking them to a European final. Down the line it goes to Conrad Lima in the final third for Leipzig. 1-on-1 with Ryan Jack. Can he take on the holder midfielder? Goes to the edge of the box to Olmo. Back out left to Angelino. Time for a cross. Gets a cross in. It's an inviting one. He goes all the way through to Benjamin Henriks on the opposite side. Getting away from Barisic. Goes the long way round and he's brought down by the Croatian. That's a free kick on the edge of the box. And that's a booking as well. 3 of Rangers' back 5 are on bookings. I don't think Goldson was, to be fair, but Bassey's and Borna Barisic ones definitely were. Cynically brings down Benjamin Henriks. And like I say, 3 of Rangers' back 5 are on bookings now. It's on the right-hand side of the box, so favoured for a left footer. Might be a little bit too far over, but it's still a decent angle for a free kick to have a shot at goal and trouble Alan McGregor. It's around 22 yards away from goal. Right before half-time, Rangers could do with not conceding. Well, they could do with not conceding at any point in this game because that means they go through, but especially before half-time. Dani Olmo and Angelino stood over it, the 2 Spaniards. Kunku's trying to get in towards the Alan McGregor eye line, but he knows if he stood in his way and he's offside, then he won't count. I think Olmo, the right-footed option, is going to leave it. It's going to be Angelino. He scored in the first leg. The Spaniard goes for a shot, hits the wall, deflects back towards him as he goes to retreat it, but we've had a quick stoppage here as it's been blocked very bravely by Joe Aribo, right in the choppers there, right in the face for the Nigerian. He's played really well up front for Rangers tonight in an unorthodox position for him. He's not usually a striker, does play in midfield usually, and he probably should have put Rangers 3-0 up around 15 minutes ago. Tavernier got a ball in from Barisic. He headed it across goal towards Aribo, who was a couple yards out, and with his weaker foot he swung at it but completely missed it, unfortunately for Rangers. That's why it stays at 2-0. But the referee there was very close, was very quick to stop the game there once Aribo hit the deck. 76 people in again. It's unbelievable viewing, by the way. This, please like and subscribe. I don't want to sound like a broken record and I don't want to sound rude, keep saying it, but it does help smaller creators like me out. It really, really does. So if you're there and you haven't subscribed, please do it. It takes you 1 second and it's half time soon. You can do it for that if you'd like. Hopefully this isn't as nasty as it looks. It did just seem like a block of a free kick, but the emergency staff are on, and the last thing Rangers need is to be taking off Joe Aribo. They have got a striker on the bench, Fashion Sakala, but he's not quite the same player. Fashion Sakala, the Zambian international. He's only 5'10". He won't hold the ball up like Aribo. Fashion Sakala is more of a man to get in behind, and they've already got that with the likes of Kenton right on the left and right hand side. But it looks like he is just sat up for the minute, Joe Aribo. The stretcher's on just in case, but it looks like he's going to get back to his feet on his own, which is good to see. 90 people here, brilliant. Really is brilliant for this European semi-final in the Europa League. Yeah, he's back on his feet. He's walking off. Doesn't look like he's all with it, Aribo. It is before half-time, so maybe they could get him in at half-time and then assess. And then maybe bring him off if he can't do it. Sakala is getting stripped off, I think. So I think it will be an enforced change. It's really frustrating for Joe Aribo. He's been fantastic tonight. Held up the ball really well. Possibly could have had a goal, but he doesn't look with it, to be honest, Joe Aribo. The former Charlton player. Making appearance 145 for Rangers today. And yeah, he's going to be brought off here. Fashion Sakala on. Did get Rangers goal against Celtic in the Old Firm on Sunday, and yeah, Aribo's just really out of it. And all from blocking a free kick for Angelino, really putting his body on the line to block the free kick, and unfortunately it's ended his game. So I'm going to presume that's a concussion substitution as well, so I don't know if that adds another sub in the Europa League, but we've had 1 minute of add-on time given, but we've played 2 minutes 15 seconds of it already due to that injury, so I think we'll play till around minute 49 on the clock. Helped on towards Scott Wright. Play continues as Conrad Lima clears. Connor Goldson heads it back forward. Sakala, the substitute, gives chase, but it's hooked away once again by Gavardio, the young Croatian international. Really, really unfortunate for Joe Aribo. He's had a great first half there before it getting cut short. Tavernier throws it down the line. Can't be helped on by Scott Wright. It's now with Lima. And Nkunku back inside to Lima. Inside once more to Olmo. Tries to get it forward towards Nkunku, but it's well met by John Lundstrom. Kicks it back to his goalkeeper, Alan McGregor. And that'll be half time. We played 3 minutes of added on time after additional time of 1 minute, but that was due to a stoppage in play with Joe Rebo bravely blocking a free kick from Angelino, and that's forced him off the field. But what a first half for Rangers and Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's men. It's an unbelievable start. Really, really is. We started with an early shot in the 7th minute. Ryan Jack had a weak left-footed strike deflected towards goal, and it was an easy save in the end for Peter Galacci, but that was just the start of things to come. 18 minutes in, James Tavernier became the top scorer in this season's Europa League with a goal from around 2 yards out of the back post. It was well worked down the left. Kamara held it up, got Kent in behind, he ran at the defence, he went on the inside, took it back on the outside, across goal. Tavernier got in behind his man, and he couldn't miss from 2 yards out, and he didn't, because he barely ever does, James Tavernier. That put them 1-0 up, level on aggregate. And then only 6 minutes later, Glenn Kamara, who really started the first goal with that hold-up play, ended the second goal with an unbelievable finish. Just on the right-hand side it was. Aribo on the far right, zipped it into Scott Wright, who had his back to goal, held it up for Kamara, who then he laid it off to on the edge of the box, and so perfectly, so sweetly with his left boot, curled it in towards the far left corner. Peter Galacci couldn't save it. That gave Rangers a 2-0 lead on the night and a 1-goal advantage in the semi-final, the first time they've been ahead in this semi-final. And then a couple minutes later, Danny Olmo tried to respond quickly after he got the ball on the edge of the box. He tried to place it in the top left corner, but he went over the bar. And then another chance a minute later, once again, as Wright works a dangerous cut back into the box from the right flank for Aribo, who's gone off to strike at goal, and the forward only needs to get his effort on target, but he misses his kick and allows Orban to head behind for a corner. They say Scott Wright got the cut back there, but I think it was a Barisic cross onto the head of Tavernier. Tavernier headed it in towards Aribo, but like I say, he swung at midair. That was all in half an hour. Didn't really get a chance until the end of the half there, where Angelino took his free kick, presuming hit the face or maybe even the throat of Joe Aribo, and it was such a bad hit that he had to come off in the end, and then that was it for the half-time whistle. It's Rangers 2, RB Leipzig 0 on the night, 2-1 aggregate, and Rangers are 45 minutes away from the European Cup final for the first time since 2008 in Seville in under 2 weeks' time. Crazy. I can't believe Rangers could be making the Europa League final, because it's a strong competition, the Europa League. It really is. People underestimate how difficult it is. You got your teams like RB Leipzig, who are a very strong team. West Ham, Frankfurt, Barcelona, Atalanta, Lyon. Teams like that are in it. Monaco were in it as well. Lyon, like I just mentioned, Porto, Real Betis, Red Star, Leverkusen, Galatasaray. Big teams are in this competition, and Rangers are the team that could be making the last two. Half-time for West Ham, it's still 1-0 to Eintracht Frankfurt. In the Europa Conference League, Marseille and Feyenoord are 0-0. Feyenoord have a 3-2 lead in that, and then Roma are currently leading Leicester 1-0 on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. So the guy, it's not just the commentary being classed, you can tell he's done his own work. Yeah, I do plenty of research before the game. Make sure I know who I'm talking about. What's the opinion on Real Madrid versus Manchester City? Pretty bonkers. If I say so myself. Like I say, City had many chances in the first leg to get well more than the 1-goal advantage. They didn't. Second leg, played the game pretty well, I thought. Didn't want a basketball game where it was end to end, and that's what City didn't want, and they played it so it wasn't like that. Got the goal with Mahrez, which seemed to put them into the final, but then just 80 seconds of absolute madness where this Real Madrid scored 2 goals, and at that level, you can't be conceding 2 goals in 80 seconds, and City only have themselves to blame. I saw a tweet from a City fan account, actually, and I think it summed it up really well. It said, Pep coached a 10-0 victory, and his team only scored, the 5 goals. over the two legs. He did. I don't think Pep did anything wrong. Substitutions at the end obviously became more negative, but hindsight, why wouldn't you bring on more defensive plays when you're 2 goals up at the Bernabeu? I just think the players weren't clinical enough over the two legs, and the Madrid players definitely were very clinical, and maybe a bit too clinical, because it felt like every shot they were having was going in. So yeah, I mean, City players can only have themselves to blame. I don't think Pep did much wrong. I don't think his team selection was wrong. I don't think his subs were wrong. I just think the players let him down when it really mattered in the last remaining minutes of that match. And Madrid obviously deserved to go through. Like I say, don't even feel like they had many chances in the two legs, but they pretty much scored every single chance they had. So yeah, they'll play with Liverpool in the final. I think 28th of May. So that's in 23 days, just over 3 weeks away. The Europa League final is going to be played on the 18th at Sevilla Stadium. And Rangers currently have got their spot secured so far after the first half, which has got them right in front, spun the tie on its head completely. Thanks to everyone who's here. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, make sure you're liking and subscribing. I want to try and hit 700 subscribers pretty soon, so if you could help that would be fantastic. I'm going to quickly just go and turn my light on. I will not be a second. Like I say, as we get a comment about Rangers heading to Seville, it's not over yet. It's a 1-goal advantage you've got. Like I say, when you were playing against Braga, it was the exact same. You were 2-1 up on the night. Not 2-1 up on the night. You were 2-0 up on the night. 2-1 up on aggregate against Braga, and they were also down to 10 men as well, Braga. And then up came, in around the 80th minute, one corner, one header by 6'5" David Carmo. And they pulled it back and got into extra time. And Leipzig have more than enough quality without set pieces, just from open play, to split open this Rangers defence. So it's not over yet. Unbelievable to turn it around, and you've put yourself in the driving seat to try and get through to this final. Which again, like I say, I just reeled off the teams that were in this Europa League campaign. Some massive teams, and Rangers are currently the one landmarking themselves in the final. Well, yeah, Leipzig, you've got to be careful. They've got really good technical players. Poulsen hasn't quite done it up front, but Nkunku's always looked to threat. 31 goals in all competitions this season for the Frenchman. He's got 8 goals and 6 assists in his last 11 league games. Got a hat-trick against Manchester City in the Champions League group stage in a 6-3 away loss. But, one chance for him, and, he could finish it. We've just got to be careful. I just don't want anyone getting too excited that a British club like Rangers, Scottish club, put some respect on the name, a Scottish club, could be making a Europa League final. Unbelievable. Like I said, Kamara took his black armband off and repeatedly kissed it, and that was for the passing of legendary kitman Jimmy Bell, who tragically suddenly passed away on Tuesday. Well, that's when Rangers announced it anyway. So yeah, that's Glenn Kamara's tribute to the late Jimmy Bell. But can they do it? Can Rangers actually do it? This is actually mental. Mental. Crazy. Crazy times. Crazy times. Second half is getting underway in a couple minutes' time. Obviously, like I say, we've had an enforced change. Joe Rebo came off for Fashion Sakala due to blocking a free kick at the end of the half from Angelino. They didn't show a replay of it, so we can't quite tell you where it came off or, what probably caused such an injury where Reba had to come off. But he's had to come off. Fashion Sakala's come on. He did score the equaliser in the Old Firm derby, but then also hit the post, didn't he? If you've watched it, Fashion Sakala had a great chance, 4 minutes to go, to win it for Rangers to get them back in the title race, but he did hit the post, and that does mean Celtic are still 6 points clear of Rangers and have 3 more wins than the Jers this season. So it was a big miss for Sakala, but also a big goal at the same time. So you can't have a go at him too much, and he could do with making a difference tonight. Sorry about that. I just had to log into something pretty quick. I can't believe it's 2-0 up, and the run as well that Rangers have gone through to get to this point is absolutely crazy. In the playoffs, they had the small team of Borussia Dortmund to get beyond, which is just so difficult in itself. Got beyond Dortmund. Then played Red Star in the round of 16, got beyond Red Star, and that's a difficult away ground to go to. They actually lost that game away 2-1, but thankfully the home leg was enough to get them through. Then they've had to play Braga in the quarterfinals, a very well-established Portuguese side who do pretty well in Europe. And now RB Leipzig, 5th in the league. That's due to a slow start under Jesse Marsch that they got, but now under new manager Domenico Tedesco, after 26 games, he's only lost 4 of them. So it's not easy games they've had to face as well. By the way, what a run! And you got to remember as well for the round of 16, RB Leipzig actually got a bye into the next round because they were drawn and meant to play Spartak Moscow, but due to the invasion of Ukraine, they obviously got kicked out of the competition, and that means RB Leipzig actually got a bye from the round of 16 into the quarterfinals as well. So a little bit of an easier run in that sense for RB Leipzig. And obviously not their own doing, it's not their fault that what happened in Ukraine, but it does help when you get a bye into the latter stages. But I made sure I got a screenshot of this, and I wanted to share it because I thought it was really, really class from Domenico Tedesco, the RB Leipzig manager, in his press conference. He said, "First of all, we want to express our condolences. We can only imagine what a club legend like Jimmy Bell means to Rangers." Great words from the manager. Really understanding what people like Jimmy Bell, Kitman, 30 years, people like that keep clubs going. It keeps the authenticity in clubs around people like him, and it's the fact it's a sudden death as well at 69, really sad. The fact he won't be able to see what's going on. Hopefully up there, he'll be watching down at Ibrox. So proud of his team, and he's, like I say, his team is 45 minutes away from a European Cup final. Unbelievable. West Ham still have a lot to do. They've got 2 goals to win to get back if they want any chance of getting to the Europa League final. But they have got 10 men. Aaron Cresswell red carded in the 19th minute, according to my reliable source of Mike in the stream. Apparently it was a red. Apparently it was a yellow at first. The referee gave it, and then a VAR check gave it a red card. Which is unfortunate and very, very, very annoying probably for West Ham fans from Cresswell, because he was sent off in the first leg of the quarter-final against Lyon at home. Undeserved or deserved, whatever you may think of that challenge, he still got sent off, and then sent off once again. Massive mountain to climb when they were already trailing West Ham. Tavernier, 7 goals now in the Europa League. Top scorer in this Europa League season as a right back is absolutely unbelievable. It's his 81st Rangers goal. Joined them back in the second division in 2015. It's his 40th Europa League appearance, 10th goal in the competition as well. Fashion Sakala doing a bit more of an intense warm-up. He was obviously thrown on for the last few minutes of the first half as Joe Rebo was forced off with a head injury. Hopefully he's all good. When he walked off the pitch, he did look a little bit worse for wear. Unfortunately, the Nigerian, but there's ambience on for him. Different kind of player. Joe Rebo was obviously on for the more hold-up play that Van Bronckhorst wanted. But Fashion Sakala can run in behind. He has got pace. Like I say, he's coming into this game off the back of an old firm goal. He's yet to score as well in the Europa League this season. As both sides are making their way back on the pitch. Probably Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's biggest ever team talk, half-time team talk anyway, that's for sure. Getting his plays up for this in terms of like, not getting them up for it, but more just getting them calm, under control, and just making sure they see through the rest of this match where Rangers could be writing history right in front of our eyes. Ryan Kent will have kick-off. It'll be Rangers kicking left to right, RB Leipzig right to left, more towards their away support. Waiting for the referee's whistle of Artur Diaz, the Portuguese international. When we get his whistle, we'll get kicked off with Ryan Kent. Here we go, whistle blown. Ryan Kent plays it back to Calvin Bassey. Thinks forward up towards Sakala, loses the header to Lima, only as far as Lundstrom, who nods it out wide right to Tavernier. Helped over the top towards right, headed away. Nodded down by Olmo towards Angelino on the left, but can't quite stop it from going out of play. And that's a throw-in for Rangers. Long throwing down the line by Tavernier. Header won by Josko Gvardiol. Angelino drills it forward towards Nkunku. Tried a delicate touch towards Poulsen, but it's cleared away by Rangers up towards Sakala, who's been caught offside. It's going to be taken by Orban, the RB Leipzig captain. Puts it to his left to Gvardiol. First time ball out to Angelino in the left back area. Thinks ball forward towards Olmo. Good touch to Lima. Forward then to Poulsen. Holds up against Bassey. Lays into Campbell. Poked away by Kamara. Only as far as Klosterman, who tries to drill a ball towards Nkunku. Out he steps is Goldson. But his pass has been intercepted by a slight challenge of Klosterman. It's now with Kevin Campbell. Works it to Benjamin Henriks. Inside to Conrad Lima. Halfway it is to Klosterman. Orban drives forward into Poulsen. Lays off into the right wing back of Henriks. Tries to drive inside himself. Goes back to Orban. Back out right to Poulsen. Thinks ball over the top looking for Nkunku. Heads it behind it towards Olmo. Pokes it off. Nobody. It's a Rangers goal kick. Olmo asking for a corner. Does he feel like Tavernier was the man who got the last touch? Might have a good argument as well there, Olmo. Looks like it may have come off Tavernier last. Alan McGregor with the goal kick. He's won 12 trophies at Rangers in his 2 spells at the club. Kicks it towards the right hand side. Tavernier can't win the header. Goes over his head. Nope, he's fouled Tavernier as he went for the header actually. It's gone the other way. Apparently Tavernier was the man who fouled someone. Not quite sure on that. I don't think there was a foul anyway. I just thought 2 players went up for the ball and neither of them got there, but referees give it the other way. Orban into the feet of Poulsen on the halfway line. Tries to play it back to the feet of Campbell, but it's fell to Kent. Poke forward to Fashion Sakala on the left. In the box, he has Kent to support on his left. Finds him. RB Leipzig have recovered well with bodies back. Kent still has it though on the left and then has to force it back towards Calvin Bassey. Could have had a counter-attack on there for the Gers. Ryan Jack, short ball, picked up by Henriks. Poulsen gets it back into Henriks on the right. It's Borna Barisic though, who recovers well, and then Lima wins it back again and can keep it on that far right-hand side. As Leipzig get forward, there's men to his left. He finds Olmo, tries to get it across his body, but Tavernier stops it. He gets it to Scott Wright. Forward into Kamara. Lifted ball over the top. Can't quite find Sakala. Good header by Gavardio. Lifted over to Angelino by Orban. Can't find Nkunku. Headed away by Ryan Jack. Headed back forward by Angelino. Towards Glenn Kamara, who's going to try and see it out ahead of Dani Olmo. And he does do so very well. The Finnish international. James Tavernier with the throw-in. Was of Newcastle from 2008 to 2014. 6 years. Tavernier, the man who scored the first goal with the long throw-in. Finds Sakala, but it actually bounces over him, but he forces a header out of play by Willy Orban. For a throw-in. I actually think the captain tonight for RB Leipzig is actually Peter Galacci. He's been at the club. He got to the club at the same year as Willy Orban, 2015. Tavernier chops away nicely from Olmo. Has to be forced back though to Lundstrom. Lifts it down the channel towards Scott Wright. Flicks it on nice with the head to Sakala. He's back to goal and goes back to Scott Wright. Take it towards the byline. But Lima nicks it away from him and clears with the left boot, but not before it goes out of play. Tavernier towards the right corner flag, tries to back heel it. Pinballs off a few players, and in the end it can be played out by Dani Olmo to Lima. Long ball over the top, finds the head of Nkunku, nods it down to Poulsen. Met by a challenge of Ryan Jack, and that's going to be a free kick for RB Leipzig. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst not quite happy. That's gone against his team, that free kick. But we do restart with Kevin Campbell. He's got a good record in this competition for RB Salzburg. In 17 Europa League appearances for them, he got 7 goals and 10 assists. All his goals in this competition have come for RB Salzburg. So Ryan Jack picks it up in the Rangers half after a heavy touch from Benjamin Henriks. It's now Borna Barisic, clips it down the left towards Sakala, tries to hold it up, poked away by Orban. Falls to the midfielder Ryan Jack. Scott Wright takes it really well. Tries to skip beyond Kevin Campbell. Tripped by the Slovenian. And that's going to be a free kick for Rangers and a yellow card as well for the returnee. That's his 3rd yellow card now in the Europa League and only his 5th appearance in the competition. That's why he was suspended for the first leg due to his amount of yellow cards, and now he's got a 3rd. Barisic to take the left-footed free kick. It's a bit far out, but he could definitely launch this into the box. Barisic to take. Swinged in, curled, headed away by Orban towards the right hand side to Lundstrom. Heads it back to Ryan Jack. Tries to play it forward again and finds Scott Wright. First time layoff to Lundstrom. First time cross as well, and it deflects. Beyond for a corner. The captain, Peter Galacci, could catch it, but didn't avoid the corner. The Budapest-born goalkeeper. I'm going to read that comment in a minute. Made a very interesting point at the end that I didn't even think of, to be fair, but we've got Tavernier corner. It's an out-swinging ball that's going to be crossed in by the captain. He's already got his goal. Headed on towards Connor Dalton. He flies over it. Referee sees nothing wrong with any pushes. It's back out to Kent on the left. Can he recycle it into the box again, maybe for Dalton to have a second bite at the cherry? Kent, in it goes towards Sakala. It's just a yard or so wide. He's not scored yet in the Europa League in his career. It's his first European season and not far away at all from the Zambian. He got a goal at the weekend in the Old Firm to equalise, and yeah, didn't quite catch the header like he would have wanted to, but he did rise above really well on Yusuf Poulsen. He didn't quite jump for it. But Ben plays here, who says, "Come on, Rangers! Imagine Rangers win the cup and play Liverpool or Real Madrid in the Super Cup." Amazing. That's a great point. If Rangers do make it to the final, and then obviously win the final, which isn't a guarantee. That Super Cup fixture they could have the season after to play such a big team like Liverpool or Real Madrid, as Dani Olmo broke the lines there and had a miscommunication with Christopher Nkunku, and he lost the ball. Alan McGregor kicks out of his hands. Got towards Sakala. It's actually too long of a kick in the end. It can be left by Orban and caught by Galacci, and he rolls out quickly to Josko Gavardio. Making appearance number 45 for the season, all competitions. Gavardio. It's now with Henriks, the right wing back. Forced back with the Leipzig half in defence with Orban. Again with Galacci. They're struggling here, RB Leipzig. Struggle for the majority of the game, to be honest. Lima takes on the turn nicely on the edge of the 18-yard box. I think he's been really impressive tonight. Conrad Lima, who pretty much missed all of last season with injury, but he misplaces a really poor ball there. But then also the Rangers and RB Leipzig are back in possession. They try to get it to the front man, Sakala, but couldn't do it. $666 subscribers. Thanks to everyone who is subscribing. If you aren't subscribed, please do. The magic number is 1,000 in terms of monetization, where I could improve the stream. So if you could help me get to around 700, that would be great, because there's 100 of you in this stream. Great numbers. Once again, make sure you like and subscribe. It does help, and it just takes 2 seconds. Rangers are bigger than Real and Liverpool. Well, they've got a strong history. Rangers. Their last European Cup did come back in 1972. They won their first league title last season since 2012, when it all went a little bit wrong for the Scottish club when they went into administration back in 2012. Like I say, after a court session in October of 2021, it actually came out that Ibrox should have been sold during the administration to help fund the club. But what what an unbelievable ground it is, and they're creating history now. As Yusuf Poulsen holds it up in the box, lays it off into Campbell, strikes, blocks off Bassi, take a bite of the cherry, tries to hook it in the box, headed away by Ryan Jack, held back forward towards Poulsen, flicks it in once again, but it's Galton to win it first, and head away again only as far as Poulsen, who challenges Calvin Bassi, and Bassi wins it well and gets beyond the tackle of Klosterman. He's going to drive forward Bassi and help it forward to Kent, who's got electric speed as he cuts in from the left towards the right, tries to play it through towards Sakala, just a bit behind him, and Orban can bring it away the centre half. And Leipzig can try to get on the attack again. We're just over 10 minutes into the second half. Rangers still lead the semi-final. Yeah, and liquidation, and you can laugh at it, but they're now in a Europa League semi-final only 10 years later, and could be aiming towards a final, which is just unbelievable. They had debts over 100 million, and it's definitely looking brighter now for the Scottish side. Orban, ball through towards Poulsen. Out it's gone to Henriks. Leipzig just getting on the ball now, playing on the ground, which they're strong at, and something they weren't doing in the first half. They were really playing the long ball game, which I didn't understand, because Rangers set up with a back three with John Lundstrom in there, and it was just playing into their feet. Campbell goes the long way around Bassi, but does it really nicely to Savlinian. Works it wide right into Nkunku, pulls it back, and it's blocked by Ryan Jack as it goes in the box, but Nkunku was offside as he received it. Linesman's got the flag up. And it looks like Rangers are going to make their second change of the night. It's going to be Ryan Jack, who's worked his socks off throughout the whole of these 2 ties. He's going to be replaced by Canadian Scott Arfield. I'm presuming it's going to be a bit more of a like-for-like. Scott Arfield going to drop into the central midfield role. Getting a lot more minutes than he did in the first leg. Arfield, he only got around 10 minutes in the first leg. Now he's going to get over half an hour. It's actually Scott Wright who's come off, Scott Wright. Decent work rate, just lacks a bit of quality, I think, which will come for the youngster. He's only 24, still got a lot of improvement to be made. So Arfield's going to probably go on the right-hand side, and it's going to be another change. Leon Balogun's come on. And I think he's going to replace Calvin Bassi, I think, but I'll let you know. So one change definitely made is Scott Wright off for Ryan. Scott Wright off. for Scott Arfield. A lot of Scots going on. And Ryan Jack was brought off in the end for Leon Balogun. So pretty much going to be a back three of Bassey, Balogun and Goldson, with Lundstrom being allowed to jump into midfield. So 3 changes now made for Rangers, 2 just moments ago. Ball through to looking towards Olmo, but it's swept away by McGregor, the sweeper keeper, and he aims it towards Ryan Kent as he flicks on his own ball and keeps it in and wins the throw-in. Really well done for his team. If everyone in the stream hasn't subscribed and you're here, please do, because we could really have a big boost of subscribers, and it does help massively. Everyone who has already subscribed, it is much appreciated. We've got a bit of a rebrand on the channel as well, which is great. New logo, new banner, new thumbnails as well coming through. If you want a thumbnail of your own and you want it designed by the person I'm getting it designed by, my very good friend, his Instagram is in the description. His @ is B Brunts Design, all one, on Instagram. Liam Balogun forced it back to Goldson on halfway. Half an hour to go. Left-footed switch by Goldson. In the box to Arfield. He brings it down the Canadian. Can't quite get away, though, from Angelino, the man who's got the Leipzig goal in the first leg. As he tries to clear it off the Canadian, it bounces off him, and it will spin towards the byline. And Arfield keeps it in. He gets away from Gavardo and Angelino. Byline. Oh, he has to pull it across towards Sakala. But it runs straight into Peter Galacci. What a chance for the new substitute, Scott Arfield. Great switch from the weak foot of Goldson. Arfield brought it down pretty decently, and Angelino looked like he'd won it back. But as he tried to clear it, it bounced straight off Arfield's thigh. He chased his ball back down. He flicked it away from Gavardiol. Got in behind. Down the byline it went, and he had to pull it back, but instead he poked it straight to the goalkeeper. Neville confident of getting a good pull back there as Campbell brings it away now for Leipzig. The game's starting to open up a little bit. Olmo to Hendricks. Henriks on the right. Has an overlap of Klosterman, but he goes for the cross instead. Deflects off Kent. Throwing for Leipzig, and it looks like it's going to be another change, and it looks like it probably will be for Leipzig. They will be their first of the night. Number 25 is coming off the Spaniard, Dani Olmo, the 23-year-old. Is going to be replaced for Dominic Szoboszlai, the Hungarian. He's not happy, the Spaniard. Really isn't happy. Dani Olmo. And if RB Leipzig don't make it through, Olmo will go through a whole season without scoring in Europe. Then get one in the Champions League, and he's not got one in the Europa League campaign that they've started throughout this season. Gavardiol, switch out as we're back underway to Henriks. Great ball to the wing back in the final third. Goes towards his left foot, lays it off to Campbell. Back out wide right into the space for Klosterman. He's got the space and the speed to keep that in. Klosterman, he curls it out of play. It went out of play and curled back in. Linesman saw it. Goal kick for Rangers. Under half an hour to go. That's how close they are to a European final. Like I said, they're showing the replay of the first goal. Kent with a great run. Got a ball across. Tavernier scored. That to make it 1-0 on the night. Then Aribo from the right. Laid it off into Scott Wright. And got it into Kamara, who slotted it into the bottom left corner. Like I say, Scott Wright, sometimes he's not great going forward when he's on the ball, but that was a moment where he was really good. Held it up well and laid it off very nicely. Angelino touched out of play as he was shoved off the ball by Fashion Sakala. West Ham still trail 1-0 on the night. 3-1 in aggregate as Joe Aribo's back in the stands. Looks like he's doing a lot better than he was when he was on the pitch once he got hit by that Angelino free kick, and just on the end of the first half he was forced off and he was replaced by Fashion Sakala. Tavernier from the throw and gets it back from Sakala, but he's tackled in the end and it's poked down the Rangers right where Galton gets it, and he's forced back to Alan McGregor. 438 appearances now for Rangers for the 40-year-old goalkeeper. Sends it towards Tavernier on the right, heads it inside nicely to Kamara, lays it off into Lundstrom. Heavy touch, he invites the challenge from Conrad Lima, but he does shift it wide left to Kent, so play continues, and he finds the overlap of Barisic. We know he's got a good cross on him. Barisic crossing towards the near post. Orban heads away towards where it came from, headed forward by Klosterman to Henriks, who then is tackled by Ryan Kent. And it'll be a throw in for Leipzig in their own half. Leipzig really struggling, not really making too many huge chances. Yet to have a shot on target so far, Leipzig. now along their 18-yard box with Josko Gvardiol. Left-footed, high ball, looking for the substitute Dominic Szoboszlai as he's been fouled there by Leon Balogun. A push in the back. From the Nigerian, and on the left-hand side, they've got a dangerous area for a free kick. Really dangerous area to get this in the box. Balogun concedes it. Got to remember, Barisic, Bassi and Goldson are all on yellow cards. As Angelino curls it in. It's a deep one towards the far post. It's not quite kept in, though, by the number 32, Josko Gvardiol. And that'll be a goal kick for Rangers. A bit of a sigh of relief there. That could be the dangerous one. We know Angelino's got a decent cross in him, the goal scorer from the first leg. As they're still making all the noise, the Rangers fans, they know what energy they need to transfer onto the pitch to get these players through. They did it when they played Dortmund. They did it when they played Red Star. They did it as well when they played Braga. And now when they're playing RB Leipzig, referee Artur Diaz is telling Alan McGregor to hurry up with his goal kicks. As he says this one deep into the RB Leipzig half. Header won by Balogun, helped on by Kamara. Header won by Angelino. Arfield helps it on as far as Lima. Kamara nods it into Arfield, tries to flick it in towards Sakala. Brave header by Gvardiol. Poulsen loses out to Lundstrom, but it falls to Henriks on the right. He gets the ball forward to Goldson. Not dealt with it too convincingly, and Poulsen will send it over the top looking for Nkunku. Header won again by Goldson and helped away by Lundstrom for a throw-in. You do feel like RB Leipzig will create a couple of chances before the end of the night. So, like I say, with that one goal advantage that Rangers have got, it's not all over. And it's starting to tip their way, possession, RB Leipzig. They're on 53% of the possession. But the main stat is the goals, and they're behind on that by 2 on the night, 1 on aggregate. As Gvardiol goes on a run, the centre half. He's going to keep going towards the edge of the box. Tries to take it wide left, and he does do so. Avoids the challenge of Balogun. What a good run from Gvardiol. Brought in the summer from Dynamo Zagreb, the place where he was born, in Zagreb. Lays off into Campbell. Forward into Szoboszlai. Off the bench for Dani Olmo. Angelino outside of the boot ball in towards the box, and Nkunku helps it on, but it goes over Yusuf Poulsen, and it's caught by McGregor before it goes out of play. Barking his team to get up the field, Alan McGregor. So much experience. Got player of the year last season for Rangers, Alan McGregor. Ball towards Sakala. Can't win the header on Willie Orban, and he fouls him in the process of fashion Sakala. Alright, Gary, are you a City fan? No, that's the colour of Rangers. They play in blue, white and red. Red is on their socks. They've got black and red socks, white shorts and blue shirt. He might be a City fan, I don't know, but I'm presuming that's what he was going for. As Leipzig play out from the back with Galacci, Orban, Klosterman. Back to Galacci. Klosterman again in the right back area, pressed by Kent. Forces a throw in for RB Leipzig. Good work rate from Kent. Got his 4th assist in the knockouts stages of this Europa League campaign with that ball across to James Tavernier. Ball down the right, flicked on by Poulsen. Does find Nkunku, but he's bullied off the ball by Goldson. Does end up falling to Campbell, but then he loses it to Kent. Drives inside. He's got support to his right. That's Arfield. Tries to get it towards the Canadian. Just a bit behind him, though. The former Burnley man. And Angelino can force it down the left-hand side before it goes out of play. Szoboszlai tries to help it back towards him, but out of play it goes. Throw in for Rangers. Frustration for Leipzig. It just seems like this game is fading away from them. You know, the plan has been executed, though, perfectly by Rangers. They went to Germany in the first leg to just defend and not go too far behind, because they knew they could come back to this place and overturn a little deficit, and that deficit was only 1, and they overturned it pretty quickly. Tavernier towards the corner flag as he gets a return from the throw-in. Goes for a cross in the near post, it bounces, and it has to be headed away by Orban. Held up by Poulsen on the edge of the box, tackled by Bassi. And it'll fall to Galacci's hands. 22 minutes plus added on time for Leipzig to get a goal, or for Rangers to hold on. Which way will it go? Looks like Leicester and West Ham might be on their way out of Europe. So in terms of British clubs, Rangers may be the only one left in the Europa/Europa Conference League teams that we've got in there. They play out from the back, falls back to Galacci. Has to clear it away first time. Angelino lifts it into Szoboszlai. He's got a bit of room in the Rangers half. And he finds Nkunku through with a bit of space on the edge of the box. It's shut down quickly, though, by Leon Balogun. And it's shoved away by Connor Goldson. Sakala tries to give chase, but he just runs back into Peter Galacci's feet. Down the line by Gavardio. Angelino, great ball. Szoboszlai tries to get it across to Nkunku. It's an important interception by Connor Goldson. And away it's cleared, only as far as Gavardio. It's going to be back to the wall stuff. And now I think for Rangers, they've got to defend for their lives. They don't have to do much defending in the second leg, but now the pressure will probably turn against them as Angelino's being caught by Arfield. But play continues as RB Leipzig still have it. Ball forward by Nkunku, lays it off to Lima in the box. Big save, McGregor. Huge save. That's the first time Rangers in probably the whole tie have been really cut open. And Lima had a big chance in the box to get a shot away. He did do so, but McGregor was equal to it. It was well worked. But it shows that RB Leipzig can create chances. Worked out to Angelino. Ball in. Nkunku helps it on! And there's the goal for an aggregate scoreline of 2-2. The Rangers fans are furious as Nkunku celebrates in front of them. And the man who can't stop scoring this season scores once again. United are after him, Liverpool and Manchester City, and you can see why. The man's got 32 goals now in all competitions this season. He's a goal-scoring machine. Angelino, great ball in, goal in the first leg, assist in the second leg for the Spaniard, and perfectly falls on the volley on the right boot of Nkunku. McGregor couldn't keep that one out. Goldson lost his man, and in the blink of an eye, it's back level, and we could be on for extra time. Rangers 2, Leipzig 1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. And like I say, just like that, we're back level. Nkunku with the goal, and it had to be him. Scored at the weekend in RB Leipzig 3-1 loss in the league to Mönchengladbach. And he scores again. He's always scoring. He's never not scoring. And it's all level. And if it stays level like this, we will be having extra time. But there is still time for a winner. For either side now. What a big goal for Nkunku. And Kevin Campbell picks it up here in the midfield and tries to go through to Szoboszlai towards the left corner flag. He will keep it in. Waiting for support here as he's faced one-on-one with Balogun as he plays it towards Angelino. Good tackle by Arfield, but there he is. Angelino once again creating the assist. He loves an assist. Angelino, the left wing back, he's now got 3 assists in the Europa League and 1 goal as well, which he got in the first leg. After losing that late goal, yeah. Level it is on aggregate. Like you say, it only takes one chance. It happened against Braga. Rangers went 2-0 up, and then later on in the game, they concede. It's Gavardio's pass intercepted by Goldson. Arfield tries a 1-2 with Lundstrom, but Lundstrom gives it away sloppily. Campbell now in the Rangers half. Gets in towards Szoboszlai. Loses out to Kamara, and he wins a free kick. Kamara there. Campbell with a bit of a dirty challenge there, I think. Definitely didn't win the ball. But Rangers have it in them to give 100% even during extra time. Remember in the quarter-final against Braga, they played 120 minutes. Then on the Sunday, they were playing 120 minutes in the Cup semi-final against Celtic. So, in terms of stamina, you can't question that for Rangers. They can go full energy right through the game. But on paper, better quality side, like technically gifted players, is Leipzig. So it's going to have to be grit and determination for Rangers, as it looks like they're starting to creak open here. Looks like gaps are starting to creak. Slice clearance from Balogun on the 18-yard box line. Does fall, thankfully for him, towards Calvin Bassey. And it's a really brave challenge as he gets away from one Leipzig player and the second. He's got options to his right, also to his left. He's going to keep going on his own as he's in the Leipzig half. Tries to feed the overlap of Ryan Kent. Poor ball, and they win it back. RB Leipzig, and it's Orban to clear down the right-hand side. Goldson lets it go. It moves away from Nkunku, and it's now with Leon Balogun, the number 26, age 33. Thanks to everyone who's here. Make sure you are liking and subscribing. This is set to be the second most viewed stream ever on the Football Commentaries YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We've hit 670 subscribers. Great number. Let's try and get that further up here as we get into a nail-biting end of this Europa League semi-final. As it looks like the winner will more than likely take on Eintracht Frankfurt. Let's start back with Galacci in his 18-yard box. Oh, just about gets it across to Angelino. Arfield nearly cut out in the 18-yard box. Ball forward into Nkunku, the goal scorer. Heavy touch. He's brought down by Lundstrom, but play continues as Lima takes over. Lots of room for Szoboszlai on the left. Edge of the box. Cuts onto his right foot. Can he get a shot away? He plays towards the right-hand side. Across it goes to Poulsen. Misses out. Lima on the left. Trying to work a shot, can he? Back heels into Angelino. Oh, Rabona crossing in towards the penalty spot, and it's cleared by John Lundstrom. Oh, it's getting tense. Rangers are struggling here. They really are. So Gvardiol on halfway as RB Leipzig just reset for a second. Ball forward into Szoboszlai, the substitute. Can't get it into Nkunku. Balogun gets it forward to Kamara. Holds it up and brings Lundstrom into play on the left. Whip ball out to the left to Ryan Kent. He's got one person to his left, and that is Borna Barisic. And he lays off into the Croatian. And then gets it back Ryan Kent. As I think Rangers just need to get a foot on the ball and knock it about a little bit. Just get a bit more composure. Back in their rhythm, back in their play. Balogun tries to stride forward. And he gets it away from Angelino. Great run from Balogun into the final third on the far right. Plays in towards the middle where Lundstrom gets onto it. And then goes back to Balogun. As RB Leipzig have got the men back. Down the line it goes to Lundstrom. Tries to take on Lima, but instead wins a corner. Very well played by the former Sheffield United man. So in the Europa Conference League, Feyenoord are still ahead on goal on aggregate 3-2. That's 0-0 against Marseille. Roma are still 1 up on Leicester. And West Ham need to score 2 in around 15 minutes if they want to go through. Or at least take it to extra time. Arthur Diaz, the referee's having a few words before this corner gets put in. Just under 15 minutes to go plus added on time. Outswinger, Tavernier. Great ball. Header can't be won by Balogun. Headed away by Gvardiol. Kamara heads it back out to Tavernier. First time clearance. It's gliding in. It's had to be parried away by Galacci, but he was just knocked off balance there by Sakala. He knew what he was doing there, the Zambian. Definitely a free kick in my eyes there. Wasn't a big push, but clever enough to try and knock Galacci off balance. After getting a 2-0 lead after 25 minutes with Tavernier and Kamara goals, we're now back level on aggregate with Nkunku scoring for Leipzig once again. Without him, I don't think they'd be anywhere this season. Long ball by Galacci, forced to Calvin Bassey, and again a sign of relief for Rangers fans as they're back on the ball. McGregor, not the greatest of clearances. Tavernier can help it on though into the RB Leipzig half. Arfield lets it run across his body and keeps it on the far right. Plays it into Sakala, drills it into Tavernier, and they keep the ball again. And Tedesco, the RB Leipzig manager, is ushering his team forward to press, but they beat it with Kamara switching it over to the left to Borna Barisic. This is a good play. Inside it goes to Lundstrom. Across to Balogun. Towards the halfway line. Forward nicely to Arfield. Tried to lay it off into Tavernier, who didn't make that run down the right-hand side. Probably should have took a touch there, Arfield, but it's a throw-in for Leipzig in their defensive third, so they could possibly box them in here, Rangers. Showing that goal again. Great ball in from Angelino. He's got a real good cross in him, beat everyone. And then Nkunku just let the ball drop onto his right foot and placed it beyond Alan McGregor, who definitely had nothing there to stop it. This is now Leipzig with the ball. Nkunku's drifted wide right. Gets it back inside to the right wing back. Henriks, who's in the box, tries to pull it across. Poulsen needed to be there and he wasn't. He probably could have took the shot on there, the right wing back. Rangers get away with another one. But they haven't survived it yet as Lima now has it in midfield. Across it goes to Kevin Campbell, who missed the first leg with a yellow card suspension. He's been brought straight back in for the second leg, though, as soon as he was able to return. Gvardiol taking his time looking for the red and white shirt. Gets it in the box. Back to goal for Yusuf Poulsen. He's getting matched by Balogun, but he lays it off into Gvardiol once again. One cross has already beat Rangers. Another cross beating them could be very deadly for their chances to get to Europa League final in the semi-final. But Rangers' press has forced them back to their goalkeeper, Galacci. Really well done by the Glasgow boys. Gavardio lifted ball over the top, tries to find Poulsen. He does touch it into Szoboszlai. Now Nkunku, back to goal himself. Lime's trying to make a run. He tries the back heel, but he can't find the Austrian with it. And Tavernier can try and bring it away. Deflects it off the Frenchman last for a throw in for Rangers. We are now getting to the nail-biting stages now. Really is tense. Long throwing up towards Sakala in the RB Leipzig half. Dragged to the ground by Gavardiol, and it's a rightly given free kick by Arta Diaz, the referee. Was pulling him there, Gavardiol, and Sakala wins a free kick. Despite he's not a hold-up striker, and that's the way that Rangers wanted to play tonight. He's done that role really well. As Aribo was brought off right before half-time. Forced change after getting hit by the ball from a free kick by Angelino. And some Rangers fans just can't take it. There's already tears in some of the faces of these fans, some of the younger ones as well. He looked around 12, so he probably wouldn't have even been remembering the times when Rangers were going through their tough stage with administration. Tavernier clips it towards the far post in the box here. Not dealt with by Orban very well. He only flicks it behind him to Kent, who's wide left, everything to his right. Step overs, dinks ball in towards the far post. Can it be dealt with Lundstrom? Left-footed finishing. Leipzig couldn't get it away, and Lundstrom gets his second goal in Europe. And could it be the most important in his career? With 10 minutes to go, Rangers retake the lead once again. It is calamitous defending by RB Leipzig. Rangers won't care. John Lundstrom at it again. He scored in the away leg against Borussia Dortmund in the playoffs. That was granted goal of the season at the Rangers Awards night. That one wasn't even nearly as good as that outside of the box finish, but it was just as important. Kent on the right, got on the left, got it on down the line. Galacci couldn't clear it, and all he did was parry it. Oh, he didn't even get a touch to it. It was headed off the line by Gavardio. It fell straight to Lundstrom, who lost his marker, and with his weaker left foot, oh, goal check. VAR's checking it. Not sure what they're checking. Like I say, on that left, Kent got a left-footed ball in towards the box, and it nearly dropped all the way in. Galacci missed it, came off the back of Gavardiol's head, fell to Lundstrom, and around 8 yards out, left foot, he hit the empty spot in the net. And the goal checks over. It's 3-1 Rangers. They're back in the lead. Unbelievable. 3-1. I think RB Leipzig have made a change in the process. I think Poulsen came off. I'm not sure who he was replaced by. Kamara's bringing it away on the left-hand side, edge of the box. Plays it into Kent. Oh, poor touch. He allows the clearance from Gavardio. The man who cleared it off the line only as far as Lundstrom for the goal. But Bassi keeps it alive. Andre Silva's on for RB Leipzig. The Portuguese man. Bassi loses out. (3-2) on aggregate. This is what nights are made of. This is what dreams are made of. Angelino's also come off as well, so it was a double change. As Campbell gets it forward. Holstenberg's come on as well. It's now Andre Silva on the far right. Can there be more twists and turns in the semi-final? Andre Silva on the edge to Campbell. Tries to get it across towards Holstenberg, but headed away by Tavernier. As far as Gavardio, who's been forced back towards the halfway line to Willy Orban. Campbell. Szoboszlai. Henriks tries to get it across towards Andre Silva. It's blocked off by Balogun. But Lundstrom is the man who's sending Rangers into the final. Like I say, second goal ever in Europe. Second this season. His first game against Dortmund in the away leg. And it was, like I say, voted goal of the season at the Rangers Awards night. That one was fantastic. This one wasn't great, but he got it in the back of the net. And that's all that matters. Henriks, right wing back for RB Leipzig, has it. Works it well on the right. It's into Campbell. Forward into Szoboszlai. Henriks and Nkunku, who got the equalising goal on aggregate. Oh, Gavardio loses his footing on the ball and Arfield can bring it away. Goes back to Tavernier. Big clearance up the field. Doesn't go towards Sakala. Towards Kent, but he can't beat Lucas Klosterman to it. And look at how many people. I don't think I've ever had this many people in a stream before. Great numbers. Make sure you all like and subscribe, please. It really does help while you're here. It really does help. Regular commentaries right through the football season on this channel. I cover all leagues, all competitions. Make sure you get subscribed, please. It does really help. As Andre Silva holds it up, the striker for RB Leipzig. He was brought on late as well in the first leg when they needed a goal to try and get the advantage to go into the second leg. And Nkunku. Nice ball towards Szoboszlai. Poor touch, but he does keep it away from Lundstrom. Works it wide right to Henriks. Left-footed ball in the box. Helped on by Bassi towards Andre Silva. And McGregor gets there. Really important catch from McGregor to make. He was 6 minutes away, plus added on time to a historic night at Rangers. John Lundstrom was playing in a relegated Premier League side last season. And now he's in a Rangers side who are on their way to a cup for semi-final, a European Cup final. Looks like West Ham are going to crash out. It does look like they're going to crash out. Unfortunately, as they're still 2 goals behind. And Nkunku plays it forward to Lima. Gets beyond Balogun. Kills it back into Nkunku. 20 yards out. Plays it to the left to Holstenberg. Oh, tries to get it across, but Tavernier blocks it. I'm not sure if it's a throw-in or a corner. Let's say it's a corner for Leipzig. 5 minutes to go. How do I send you cash? You can't, unfortunately, but I hope that seems like a compliment. Thank you very much. In-swinger, Szoboszlai. Back stick. Header won by Gvardiol, and over the bar it goes. Every time it goes out to play for a Rangers ball, the closer a European Cup final gets. Andre Silva to score. Don't think RB Leipzig fans would like that. As Leicester are still trailing by 1 at Roma. They've got a couple minutes left, so they're still in it with 1 goal. But I just think with West Ham, I think 2 goals is just 1 too many for them. Goal kick taken from Alan McGregor up towards Sakala. Does win the fluck on. Kent can't chase it. Falls into the gloves of Peter Galacci. Rolls out to Gvardiol. Some Rangers fans just can't take this stress. Hands covering the eyes. They can't watch. As they were ahead in this tie before. And they were pegged back by an Nkunku goal. And it's not over yet. Henriks. Ball inside. Touch into Szoboszlai by Lima. On the far right. Can he work across? Bassi can't stop the cross. It goes in. Pinball in the box. Will it land to anyone? It falls off the ref who has to stop play on the edge of the box. Who will it fall to? I think it might be... It might drop to Rangers. He's telling the players to get away. Who kicked it last? Who cleared it last? But yeah, I might have to try and set something up if people want to send me some cash over. Yeah, no, I'll keep touching wood for you, Mike. I'll keep touching wood. I've got to remember. I've got to be balanced. I've got to be neutral. So as much as I might say something where you want to rip my head off, saying don't say that, you know, I've got to make it balanced, mate. But like I say, this is a record-breaking stream. It's looking like this is unbelievable. Make sure you're subscribing and liking. McGregor sends the ball away after it came off the referee. Sakala chases it. Holstenberg drops to the ground, and it's a foul. The referee gives a foul. Oh, this is getting tense. 2.5 minutes. We've added on time left. Gvardiol on the left. Down the line to Holstenberg. Brings it down nicely. Then into Andre Silva. Oh, and behind Nkunku it goes. And a Rangers throw in. You don't want to time waste too much. You know, you want to get this game over and done with as quick as possible. And Tavernier it is. Midfield battles going on. Lundstrom putting in challenge and Arfield, but it does fall to a Leipzig man. Lima tackled strongly by Kamara. That's got to be a throw-in. That's a 50-50. Come on, ref. You can't give that. Lima took a touch. Kamara got there first. And they just got their lace caught. That's all it was. Kamara is going to stay down. He might have hurt himself. Might have twisted an ankle or something. But their laces just got tangled together. And that's why they both fell to the deck. Not a foul by anyone. But yeah, Frankfurt, I think they're through to the final. Heartbreak for West Ham. A yellow card early in the first half. And then a goal 5 minutes after the red. Seeing them out. Leicester still got a little bit of hope going into added on time themselves. They just need the 1 goal. Kamara's back up and we're back underway. Gvardiol on halfway. Out to the left-hand side to Holstenberg. Back into Gvardiol. We're entering, or we're getting close to the 90th minute. Andre Silva. Holstenberg. Gvardiol and Nkunku. They're building it up here from the back. RB Leipzig. They may only have 1 chance left. Holstenberg back to Gvardiol. It's compact defending from Rangers. Campbell looking forward in the final third. Left-hand side to Lima. Holstenberg inside to Lima again. Across to Gvardiol. And Nkunku forward to Szoboszlai. Back it goes to Willy Orban. Henriks. Back out left it goes to Gvardiol. Dinking it in the box. Can they get it in behind? Good header from Bassi. Where will it drop? Headed across again. Golden volleys. To the edge of the box again. Campbell tries to win the header. Comes off Kamara. Sakala lays it off into Arfield. Trying to feed it into Sakala again. And he will get there. Blistering pace. Kent's free on the left. Kent's free on the left. He switches it towards Kent. Brings it down with a touch forward. Tackled fairly though by Henriks. And RB Leipzig will come again. 3 minutes added on. Rangers are 3 minutes away. Henriks on the right. In the box it goes. Header by Tavernier down to Kamara. Slams it away. All the way back to Peter Galacci. Gets it forward to the halfway line to Gvardiol. Switch to the right hand side towards Henriks. Heads it inside. Orban helps it on. Szoboszlai helps it on. Here he is. Andre Silva has to just play it back in towards Klosterman. Blocked by Lundstrom, who can take the ball away down the left-hand side. He tries to play in Sakala. Is he onside? Is he off? We won't find out yet. Sakala to finish it. Oh, off the keeper. Offside flag was up anyway. But play continues. Advantage is carried on. It's rolled out. And it's now with Lima on the far left. In the Rangers half. Gets it inside to Nkunku. He needs to play the ball forward. Minute and a half left. Campbell. Lima. Inside to Nkunku. He needs to get forward if possible. Trying to break the lines here with a ball towards Willy Orban, but he's tackled by Bassi and hurried away by Barisic. Straight back to the RB Leipzig defence, so they'll come at them again. 166 people here. Make sure you are liking and subscribing for this really tense ending of this European semi-final. And Nkunku, long ball forward, helped on by Orban. Header by Bassi, twice. Only as far as an RB Leipzig throw in. We're near the end. Less than a minute. Henriks tries to take on Bassi. Great tackle. And he brings it away. The former Leicester man. Oh, he's pickpocketed though. Campbell. Towards Szoboszlai. Tackled by Kent. Corner kick for RB Leipzig. This could be it. Oh, Galacci's up the goalkeeper. Outswinging Szoboszlai ball, the Hungarian. He has to get it right. Everyone pretty much in this 18-yard box. How tense is this? Everyone's up. Szoboszlai gets it in. Header won by Balogun. To the edge of the box. To Nkunku. Out left it goes. Henriks chops in on his right. Shot blocked. Falls to the edge to Lundstrom. He can't clear. But that doesn't matter. Rangers have made it to the Europa League final. Wake up, Europe. Rangers are here. Rangers fans, you are not dreaming. Your team has made it to a European Cup final for the first time since 2008. It is unbelievable scenes at Ibrox. The biggest smile on the face of Giovanni van Bronckhorst. And they have the possibility of winning their first European title for the first time in just under 50 years. They've done it against RB Leipzig. They've done it the hard way in terms of falling behind in the first leg, getting it back in the second leg, then trailing, getting it back to a draw, and then taking the lead again through John Lundstrom, who's been nothing short of unbelievable for Rangers this season. You can't write scripts like this. Teams like Barcelona, teams like West Ham, teams like Galatasaray, teams that are so big are involved in this Europa League campaign, but Rangers are one of the 2 teams left in the final. And who are they going to be facing? It's not confirmed yet, but it's looking like Eintracht Frankfurt in 13 days in Seville. I do not believe this. The character to get pegged back to 2-2 on aggregate, and then in normal time to go on and win it and get another goal again. I'll reiterate it again. Wake up, European football. If you haven't heard of Rangers, you've heard of them now. And they are going to be playing Eintracht Frankfurt in the final. Commiserations to West Ham. They have fell short at the semi-final stage. But I cannot believe that Rangers have made it through to the final. A journey started under the leadership of Steven Gerrard. He was shipped off in the end, or he shipped himself off in the end to Aston Villa in the Premier League. Giovanni van Bronckhorst brought himself in, and from November to now, he has got his side into the Europa League final. Before you go, make sure you like and subscribe, because Rangers are playing Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League final after beating RB Leipzig in the semis. Unbelievable. It just shows the absolute power and influence a football stadium can have. Dortmund couldn't win here. Red Star couldn't win here. Braga couldn't win here. RB Leipzig couldn't win here. A ground, a football stadium, a set of supporters who have the right energy can transform a team to play like they've never played before. It's party scenes in Glasgow. It will throughout the night. It is just unbelievable. Scottish football is underlooked. It is overseen by so many of Europeans' top leagues. It's only until next season that the winner of the Scottish Championship gets an automatic spot into the Champions League. Up until now, if you finish first in the Scottish Championship, you're only guaranteed a qualifying spot of the Champions League. And against Eintracht Frankfurt, they will face them in the final. Eintracht Frankfurt, by the way, sits 11th in the Bundesliga. And on the running to this final, Rangers have beaten second place Borussia Dortmund and fifth place RB Leipzig. It's there. It's there for Rangers. They can definitely do this. I'm not sure if I'll be commentating on the final, because I know BT Sport usually show the European finals live on YouTube for free. If it's not live on YouTube for free, I will commentate on it. If it is available to watch free on YouTube, I'll probably give it a miss. Or if you want me to commentate on it, I can do so. But what a night in the history books. I am lost for words. I knew after that first leg there was still a chance for Rangers to do it. A 1-goal deficit I knew wasn't going to be enough. I knew they'd get back in it. But to get back in it, get back in the league, to then get pegged back to 2-2, and then in the 90 minutes to then go on again and bag another goal to win it, to avoid extra time. shows mentality of the most elite level. We'll just go through the game just for the minute, as it's iconic scenes at Ibrox. In the first half, Tavernier gave Rangers the lead in the 18th minute. A well-worked goal down the left, crossed by Kent on a plate for Tavernier, 2 yards out. He tapped in. He's en route for the Golden Boot, and I think he's pretty much guaranteed it. I don't think anyone else can really catch him now. He's on 7 goals in the Europa League for this season. Then 6 minutes later, another really well-worked goal again. Kamara slotting the ball into the bottom left corner after getting a layoff from Scott Wright. Curled it bottom left. Unbelievable goal. And then until the 70th minute, Christopher Nkunku's been all full of the goals. He bagged his 32nd of the season in all competitions. He bagged with 20 minutes left of the game Angelino over Whitcross, the man who got the first goal for Leipzig in the first leg. And then 10 minutes later, when you think it's heading to extra time and Leipzig are growing in confidence, a ball in, not dealt with by Willie Orban, the RB Leipzig defender. It fell to Kent on the far left, went down the line on his left foot, crossed the ball in. It went beyond the keeper. It went off the back of Gvardiol's head, away from the line, and it fell to the feet of John Lundstrom, who with his left foot guided it to the left side of the goal, where RB Leipzig couldn't block the ball away from the goal to make it 3-1, 3-2 on aggregate. And that is how Rangers tonight have got their way through to a Europa League final. Even without Alfredo Morelos, even without Kemar Roof, so many goals between them two this season. Kemar Roof and Alfredo Morelos, they're two players that are just so needed for this Rangers team to function, but I've been proved wrong. They're not needed to function. You know, Morelos 19 goals in all competitions this season. Kemar Roof 16 goals in all competitions this season. So many goals that they were missing tonight, but with desire, determination and characters, they have done it. They have done it. They are through to the final. And you know who this was for? This was for Jimmy Bell. 30-year serving kitman who unfortunately, so sadly, devastatingly passed away at the start of this week. A true icon for Rangers. A figure that is known by everyone who supports this club. And he'll be up there. He'll be watching at Ibrox tonight. The scenes is unbelievable. I'm sure it's rocking. I wish I might rewind it and watch the celebrations back again once I finish this stream. Because it just looks like mental scenes. They're doing a full lap of the pitch. No one is leaving. And why would they? 10 years ago, they were in administration on the brink of collapsing as a club. Fast forward 10 years, and they are in a Europa League final for the first time since 2008. And that time they beat Fiorentina on penalties 4-2 after a 0-0 tie throughout the two legs. In the final, they met Russian opposition in an English ground in the Manchester City Stadium that was back then. They got beat by Zenit that day. So they look to rewrite the wrongs of the history of Rangers in Europe, and they'll want to win the Europa League. It will be their first Europa League since it got rebranded from the UEFA Cup to the Europa League in 2009. They haven't won a European trophy since 1972, and that was the Cup Winners' Cup when they beat Dynamo Moscow. So could they win their first European title for the first time in 50 years? These players can make history. Every single one of these players, McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack Kamara, Wright, Aribo, Kent, McLaughlin, McCrory, King, Sands, Balogun, Davis, Lowry, Ramsey, Arfield, Diallo, Sakala, Hogarth, Devine, Zakowski, Halander, Simpson, McKinnon, Hadji, Itten, Roof and Alfredo Morelos. All those players have been involved in some way this season. If that's on the bench, not coming on, or playing and being injured, these players could be in a squad that make history. In such an emotional week for the squad, losing such an iconic figure in the kitman so suddenly and so unexpectedly, but they used that emotion in such a good way to do it for him. And I'm not a Rangers fan, but you can't help but raise a smile. as the fans and the staff of Rangers will want this lap of honour to continue forever. For our German friends, to the sound of... Thanks for the comment on my first visit. I'll be back. Nice to hear. Hopefully you are all back for future commentaries. Please make sure you are back. Range all the way. Class commentary. Mate, loved it. Do more Range commentaries. I'm just telling you. Something about Rangers commentaries. I think this will be the most viewed stream I've ever done. Ever. Most viewed stream ever. And that's beaten the last viewed highest stream, which was Rangers' second leg against Braga. But they're still making their way around the ground. They will play Eintracht Frankfurt in the final. I can't believe they've got through. And they play 11th placed Frankfurt. 11th place. I know Frankfurt have beaten Barcelona on the way, and they've now beaten West Ham, so obviously, you know, they've got to a final, so you can't underestimate them at all. But, you know, it's definitely a side. It's definitely a side that they can beat. And all the staff and players, they keep pointing up to the sky. That's for Jimmy Bell. It is for him. It's such a devastating week to lose such an iconic figure at a club. Some fans just can't take it. There's tears in the crowd. And there they are. I was just about to mention them. Stephen Davis and Alan McGregor were both in the squad that got to the UEFA Cup final in 2008. Heartbreakingly enough for McGregor, he was injured for the semi-finals and the final, unfortunately, which obviously they went on to lose at the final. But Stephen Davis played in the semi-final, and he played in the final, and now he's got a second bite at it 14 years later. Couldn't even get a live commentary on Radio Scotland, thanks for the commentary. No problem at all. I just I can't believe it. 91 people still here. This is unbelievable. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Please, 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 before you go. I don't know how many commentaries will be left now till the end of the season. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'm really not sure how many I'm going to be able to do. Like I said, I might just commentate on the final, even if it's live streamed on YouTube. You know, if you want to use my live commentary instead of BT Sports, then you can do. So I think I will do that, you know. I think I'll commentate on the final. Even if it's shown for free on YouTube, I'll probably just commentate on it anyway, so, you know, to just see this journey out with Rangers, because, you know, as a commentator, I need words constantly. I need to be using words constantly, but sometimes you just lack words. Some words just don't quite hit the nail on the head. 50 likes. This is unbelievable, guys, by the way. It really is. Could we maybe hit 700 subscribers? I do need 20 more, but if you could get that, that could really, really get my month going. We are the Rangers, Super Rangers. This is unbelievable. Like I say, I want to keep giving thanks to as well, because he's really sharpened up the channel as well. The new logo that I've brought in, and a new banner, and the new thumbnails are done by my mate Ben, very good mate. He's you know, channel designer. He makes thumbnails. He does posters. He does the lot. So if you want to check his Instagram out, it's Brunt's Design at Instagram. His @ is in the description if you want to go and check out his stuff, his Instagram. Like I say, I am not creating the thumbnails, that's for sure. It's too beyond my level, like I said before. And a lot of people would have said Rangers were too low for this level, too low for a Europa League final. Well, they've just proved everyone wrong. Usually, in previous commentaries in the playoffs against Dortmund, which I did the second leg to, both legs of Braga and both legs of this, I've had a few Celtic fans make their way in, drop in a few comments. Tonight, I don't think I've seen a Celtic fan. Says a lot. Says how the tide is turning. Yes, Celtic might have the league, but if we're going to be honest, Rangers stopped you 10 in a row, and I think they'll be more interested in Europe now. Being successful in Europe, and successful in Europe is something else. John Lundstrom, the match winner. Literally, he was part of relegated Sheffield United last season, and now look at him in a Europa League final. There was even talks of him going out on loan in January. Not quite working for him, this move under Gerrard and the early stages of Van Bronckhorst's managerial career at Rangers. But against two German sides, Lundstrom has scored 2 massive goals. He scored against Borussia Dortmund in the playoffs which got goal of the season at the Rangers Awards. He's now scored the winner to send them into the Europa League final. Like I said, it wasn't the most, deadly of finishes, but he was in the right place at the very right time. If you've got your opinions on the game, put them in the comments now. I'll stick around for a little bit while we've got so many people in and we watch the celebrations. Like I said, big commiserations to the other British sides who didn't make it. West Ham fell short against Eintracht Frankfurt, losing 1-0. Didn't help themselves with a red card to Aaron Cresswell in the 20th minute and then conceded in the 26th. And then Leicester as well, losing 1-0 in Rome to Roma. Looks like they had the majority of the possession and equal amount of shots, but a Tammy Abraham goal in the 11th minute has sent Roma into the Europa Conference League final to face Feyenoord, who played a 0-0 draw against Marseille as they were 3-2 up on aggregate in the first leg last week. Appreciate the commentary because I'm in class doing work, so can't be watching the game, but also what a game. Exactly. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Just when Rangers got the early goals, when they got 2-0 up in about 25 minutes, part of me didn't. I wasn't shocked because I know they can do it. They've showed it so many times before that they can score early goals and turn around deficits. Did it against Braga, and scored early goals against Dortmund as well. Against Red Star as well, just listing all the teams they've beat. Still, no Rangers fans are leaving, or they're leaving at a very slow pace, which I don't blame them for. So that didn't surprise me, but it was just the fact could they add to it? And against Braga they couldn't add to it, and against Leipzig they didn't add to it as well, unfortunately. And it did come to bite them a little bit, conceding to Nkunku with 20 minutes to go. You're thinking extra time again. Will they be able to, get the energy and the quality to get a goal past Leipzig? But Lundstrom, the man of the hour, the man on the back pages for Rangers, with the winning goal with 10 minutes to go. I'm wishing you happy 10th. What's up, James? Who's that message to? I hope it's not to me. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. But I'm exhausted after that game. I really am. Like I say, commiserations as well to RB Leipzig. First leg, couldn't quite break down Rangers. They tried. They did in the 85th minute, but it was due to a cleared corner, which was just struck on a nice sweet volley by Angelino. But they could have really done with 2 or 3 goals. Not in hindsight. I mean, it's really obvious to say they could have done with more goals. But I mean, even before tonight, I think I said, 1 goal probably isn't enough. They probably needed more goals. And, it's cost them in the end. Rangers set out really well to just defend in that first leg, and they did with a low block for 5 at the back, with Lundstrom being used as a centre-half. And they've done the same again in the first half. Used Lundstrom as a centre-half, stuck with the back 5, and it looks like a system that's really worked for them in Europe. Well, 17 more subscribers away from 700. Come on, let's hit that landmark, guys. Come on. Getting close to that 1,000 mark as well. They will be passing into the night to Seville they go. On the 15th. On the 18th of May. Just looking through Rangers Twitter. Their full-time post, and someone has smashed his TV celebrating. It says, cost us a TV, but worth it. What scenes that is. You just can't get any better. British, Scottish, saying Scottish because the British have let us down with West Ham and Leicester. But yeah, it's going to be just devastation, unfortunately, isn't it, for Leipzig and the travelling supporters. But I think the only thing that's a bit unfortunate for Rangers is the final, isn't it, at their own ground. Obviously neutral ground at Sevilla Stadium. Like I say, on the 18th of May, I think I might commentate, even if it's being shown on YouTube for free by BT Sport. I might just do it to get my first European final done as a commentator. Haven't done a Champions League final or a Europa League final yet. So, even if it is on YouTube live, if you want to use my commentary instead of the YouTube one, my stream would be behind a little bit, so you'd have to just match up the minutes, if you know what I mean. So if you're watching live on YouTube and you're using my commentary, check what minute you're in, check what minute I'm in, and just sync them up, if you know what I mean. So I'll probably do that, so you can use my commentary if you wish. It's great to see this many people here. Like I said, just keep getting those subscribers up. I know I keep asking. We're nearly on 60 likes. This is unbelievable. If you're there and you're not subscribed, just do it. Just do it. Honestly, 700 is a big landmark, but 1,000's the one that us small creators need to get to start getting monetized. Start to create. Bring some money in. To add to the quality of the streams. It's just what a historic night. What a historic night. Just want to get back. They're showing quite a few adverts. I want to get them back showing the scenes at Ibrox, because it was just absolutely unbelievable. Everyone going crazy, and I don't blame them. Oh, I'm running out of words. I really am. Like I say, I've convinced myself I will be commentating on the final. I'm doing it. It's on Wednesday, the 18th of May, 8 o'clock kickoff. Rangers will face Eintracht Frankfurt, team who've just knocked out West Ham in the semi-finals. They sit 11th in the Bundesliga. Great chance for Rangers to win European silverware for the first time since 1972. Last European final, UEFA Cup 2008, lost to Zenit in the final. They want to change that record of their last European Cup final to be a loss. They want to win this one. Yeah, do the final, mate. I think I will. Like I say, if it is on YouTube Live, you can always mute their stream and then come over and use my commentary. If you want, open 2 tabs up or use 2 devices to do that. As they do slowly start now pouring out the ground. The Glasgow Rangers fans. Let's have a look. Here we go. Yeah, Wednesday, 18th of May, Rangers play Eintracht Frankfurt. Europa Conference League is also on the week after, so I might do that as well. Could do Roma Feyenoord, maybe do the full sweep. They play on the Wednesday after, the 25th of May, and then the Champions League final, which I won't do. Or do I do it? I might. We'll see. We'll see. I may do Liverpool Real Madrid. I might do we'll see. Before you all go, but I will let you know, I'll definitely be doing the Europa League final, 100%. In 13 days' time, I will be doing the Europa League final, confirmed 100%. Make sure you're subscribed. Keep checking the channel as well, because I schedule commentaries usually a day or 2 before they're done. So if you just keep checking the channel a few days before those games to see if I'll be doing them or not, and then you can tune in if you'd like. But yeah, definitely doing Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt in the Europa League final, and I may do the Champions League final, Liverpool Real Madrid, but that is not confirmed yet. I might not do that. We'll see. But yeah, it is now pretty much empty now. The Ibrox, just the remaining RB Leipzig fans are left. So yeah, like I say, I wonder how many people will be calling in sick tomorrow for work. So sorry, I'm not even explaining why I'm off. You know why. But yeah, I'm gonna rewind this. I'm gonna watch back those celebrations again. I want to hear the atmosphere. I want to hear the roar. I want to hear everything possible, because nights like this don't happen often. I know that's obvious to say, but they don't happen often. That's why you've got to live every moment of it, because it's like the famous saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. And it's so true. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. When you start reliving the moment, thinking, oh, what a time. And this will live in forever, even if they go to the final and it doesn't end the way Rangers want. What a historic run to the final once again. I would love to know what odds they had in the playoffs in this competition when the playoffs started and they played Dortmund. I'll try and find out, actually, because I know Dortmund were favourites to win the competition and they knocked them out. So before that tie where they were playing Dortmund, I'd like to see what odds Rangers had to win the whole thing, or at least get to the final. And that might be a stat I use for the final in 13 days, when there's going to be a live commentary here 18th of May, 8 o'clock. Rangers take on Eintracht Frankfurt, their third team they're going to be facing from Germany in this Europa League run. Like I say, I'll be going soon, so make sure you like and subscribe before you go. Please do. We're 15 away from 700 subscribers. Come on, let's hit that landmark, guys. Come on. Like I said, I've had a bit of a rebrand on the channel as well. It's a little bit. Got a new logo, new banner, new thumbnails being created as well. But the last, what? 1, 2, 6. 5 of the last 6 streams have had, 4 of the last 6 have had 1,000, views or more. Braga first leg 3,100 views. Braga second leg 4,800, the most viewed ever on the channel. This is going to overturn. This is going to overdo it, by the way. This is going to be the most watched when it ends. And then we had Brighton against travelling to Spurs. That got 347. Not bad for a Premier League commentary. Then the first leg of this tie got 2,300. I did Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest on Tuesday. That got 884. So, the numbers are really strong in the last month, and it does really help small creators out like me. It really does. My hair is absolutely crazy. What is even going on with it? I don't even know at this point. I don't really care. It's absolutely run out of words to say. Run out of words to say. Seville, brace yourself. Your city will be wrecked. Right, okay, right. I think we have... I think you're a Celtic fan, James. That's what you were saying before. Let's not, dampen... Well, probably you will want to dampen the mood, actually, to be fair. I don't blame you. Like I say, that's the destination. Nice little midweek trip for some Rangers fans. We'll have to see what allocation they get as well, actually, to be fair. See how many they will be allowed to take. But yeah, I'm gonna get going now. I'm gonna let you all go. Like I say, before you leave, please like and subscribe. Please, please, please. It's been a top commentary. It's gonna be the most viewed ever on the channel. So thank you for making that happen. The next commentary I'll be doing before the end of the season will be the Europa League final. Definitely, that's the definite confirmed one I'll be doing. It might be the last one of the season. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the next commentary, and it might be the last of the season, but again, might not be. Oh, Riley, you just joined when we're leaving, mate. Just joined when we're leaving. Like and subscribe if you have just joined, mate. Yeah, it's been a mad one. Like I say, I'm just talking now. The next commentary will be Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt. In the Europa League final. It's in 13 days. That'll be the next commentary. It might be the last of the season. I might do the Champions League final. Subscribe, notifications on, check the channel to see what commentaries are coming up. But the next one, definitely confirmed, Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt Europa League final. Can some of you believe I'm saying that, Rangers fans? You are in the Europa League final. Crazy. Absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be the end for me tonight. Make sure you're at the next stream. 13 days' time. Set a reminder. Get it on your calendars. Rangers versus Eintracht Frankfurt. But yeah. That's it. So stream done. That is it. Rangers come back once again from a 1-goal deficit in Europe to turn it around at Ibrox. It got it bouncing. It's got the whole of Europe's eyes wide open at the fear of Rangers taking on Europe's best in the Europa League this season. They're 1 game away from the trophy. They play Eintracht Frankfurt in just under 2 weeks. Will they do it? But for tonight, this team lays in the history. And that one is one that will never be forgotten. What a night. What a game. And that one is in memory of Jimmy Bell.